So I'll count it off.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Just let's go.
1, 2, 3, go!
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4! 1, 2, 3, 4!
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the rehearsal room. Nick here.
Aaron's here.
I think this one's going to be more of a wishful thinking episode.
Yes. We'll sing the Coca-Cola song at the very end.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There is no actual like directory of needs. This needs to happen.
No.
This is more of a thing that we've, in our 1,000 years of being music fans and fans of other forms of entertainment, kind of what we've stumbled across as far as how, I guess, behavior is expressed at shows or, events, let's say.
For sure.
By both fans and the performers or entertainers. So this is more of a look at to what we kind of notice in our own, in our own ventures as far as like going out to shows and to, again, other entertainment events.
If we were putting on an event and we could make it perfect for everyone, how would we like it?
How would we like it? Yeah. So we're going to talk about, I think, how fans kind of, I guess, a fan etiquette type of, not thesis either, because that's not.
No, just kind of maybe without saying a little, perhaps like a list of rules or outline something that, like, if we all kind of went along with it, if you wrote into Miss Manners and she was telling you how to, where what fork goes where and where to put your napkin when it's all over, kind of thing.
Whatever version of Dear Abby is
yes,
out there,
exactly. So it's just the kind of thing of, like, again, like you said, we've gone to shows for a very long time. The things we notice, the things we see, the, if you will, the pet peeves, the positives, the negatives, the so on and so forth, and just these things become debate to some degree. One of which we'll definitely get to is certainly a heated debate right now with some artists. So it's just the kind of thing of, like, okay, if you had a venue and you could, if I could teach the world to sing in perfect harmony, what would you do? How would you say, like, here's our rules of etiquette at Club Nick and Aaron? You know what I mean?
Aaron and Nick, alphabetical.
Well,
order,
okay, fine, sure.
Club A and N.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, wait.
Just don't. Someone's graffitiing an AL at the end of that.
Yeah. Well,
that's why we go NA. See?
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, you can still put an A and an L.
Damn it, son of a bitch. You're too good of a speller.
Yeah, I read a book. So do you want to kind of start off?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I am not here to preach and get up on Mount Pius and say, when you're at shows, these are things you must do, and so on and so forth. Look, I'm not here to dictate people's behavior per se. It's just to say, again, over the years, going to certain, shows and forms of entertainment, and being, I myself am not an artist, but friends with artists, and understanding, like, the love, the care that goes into those things, and just saying, when you show up to these things, there are things that, if you want this scene to continue and you want this thing to prosper, I think there are certain things that we can all do our part to make those things happen.
Yeah,
there are a lot of
maintain it.
Absolute. There's a lot of outside influences that are going to also curtail shit.
Of course.
It's just to say, I do think it's the responsibility. If what we say is, this is our community, this is our scene, then we also have to police it. We also have to take care of it. We have to help it prosper.
For sure.
And I just think that when it comes to shows, there's things that, I mean, I think a big one is, talking. I think we would all agree, right? Like, I do not understand the person who pays for a $40, $50 ticket so they can sit and chat with their friends the whole fucking time.
Loudly, too.
Well, I mean, that's the other crazy part. And, you and I are diverse in a lot of our listening, and certainly in shows that we see. But, like, we're going to loud shows, by the way. Yeah. One strum of the guitar and my eardrums are screaming, but you feel like, I should shut up now. No, I'll just talk louder.
This is where I try to be louder than the band.
Right. Which is like, I didn't pay to fucking hear you.
Right.
We paid to see, and I just, that kind of, and hey, listen, I'd be a liar to sit here and say that part of the enjoyment of a show, especially the longer you're in the scene and so on and so forth, isn't the social part of it. Seeing
course.
your friends at these shows, it's wonderful. But venues also provide outside areas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go out there.
Yep.
Chit-chat out there, you know? And it is this weird thing. And it's just, then of course the other part is, let's be honest, like most things, I'm sure alcohol plays a bit of a part in it.
Of course.
And, I will say as a male, you definitely have to pick and choose how you do those things because, like so many advantages that women have. But no, it's just to say that, as a woman, you might get away with a little more of saying, hey guys, could you keep it down? Dude to another dude, like, hey man, you keep, well, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And
it
becomes combative right away.
And now, by the way, this conversation that was bothering you, now is bothering everybody because now we're all around. This has actually just happened at the last time I saw Primitive Man.
Oh, yeah.
They had, forgive me, I forget her name. Experimental artist. She was the lead singer of the other one we saw. When
Catherine Wheel.
Catherine Wheel, yes. Very experimental, amazing voice. It's very artsy, no fartsy. You know what I mean? Yeah, your average Primitive Man fan probably isn't up for this.
Right.
Then go outside, or otherwise sit there and be respectful and shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
And some guy decided he needed to yell Slayer. And a guy, I mean, we were close enough. I went with our good friend Kevin. We had him on the podcast. And we both, you could hear it. Because, again, what she was doing wasn't Primitive Man. You know what I mean? And, guy just finally goes, hey, man, can you do me a favor? Can you go outside? I'd like to hear this.
Yeah.
Oh, man, And, I mean, it was enough that the guys from Primitive Man actually came out from behind. There was like a door that probably like a little green room where they were. This was the House of Blues in Anaheim.
Yeah.
And, they came out of there because they heard there was a bit of a tussle. Finally, security did something about it and, did shoo the guy outside. But I just think, like, it's just this weird part, too, where it's like, obviously you buy a ticket. I think that there garners you some, hey, I bought the ticket kind of thing.
Right.
I get that. But, like, you are a fan of Primitive Man, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, then you do know they picked this band, right? Like, do you think being disrespectful for them, and maybe you don't give a fuck about what Primitive Man thinks about you, that's fine. I'm not saying you have to.
Sure.
I'm just simply saying, like, you think if you go to the merch table later on and they realize you're the asshole, that they're going to be like, hey, thanks, man. No, I get it. Like, no, man. Like, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, that, like I said, that sort of just attitude in general seems weird to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, I paid $20, therefore I can yell at the band. And I was like, well, okay, I guess.
I do have to.
Please.
The first and easiest thing for me to say is don't be a dick, right? Like
all
first
things,
and foremost, right? Just don't be a dick.
If we were writing the 10 Commandments, that would be our first.
That's our first. 1 through 6 is don't be a dick.
As
right?
the great gods, Bill and Ted, be excellent to each other, right? Like, I
Be
mean,
excellent to each other,
right?
yes.
That should be the sign over the door.
Yeah,
be
exactly.
excellent to each other.
Like, how is it that it's just a meme and not like a thing?
We should
that
all
we
be
all
that,
do,
right?
So this one in particular,
Please.
the talking in shows.
Yeah.
In one of my former bands, we played some shows where we had to strip away the layers of volume and play quieter.
Right.
And unfortunately, one of our members of the band was one of these people who was talking incredibly loudly at a quieter show. And they have a very distinct voice, so people kind of knew, like, oh, that's that guy from that band.
I gotcha.
Which, Aaron's talking about it from, obviously I have this perspective as well as a fan.
Oh, yeah,
but now I'm also talking about it as a band member, right? Where it's like, oh,
who's about to, by the way, hit the stage with his band? Yeah. Well, everybody's like, oh, that's the asshole who's just talking over us.
Yeah.
Right.
Our whole set was fucked up because the one guy in that band kept talking.
Right.
And that is incredibly fucking
and
embarrassing.
it's funny, I've seen the same, not obviously in my band, but I saw it in another band. It was an acoustic show.
Yeah.
And somebody was doing a lot of yapping. And then sure enough, 2 seconds later, she's up there singing with her band. And like, wow.
Yeah.
The only time that's ever happened where I go, well, I kind of forgive it is when I saw Scott Kelly and Wino at the Viper Room. And the reason I kind of forgive that, as anybody who lives out here knows, and if you've ever been to the Viper Room, Viper Room is just not just a place you go see shows.
Yeah.
It is a tourist attraction.
Yep.
There are people who will pay to walk into that place just because it's the Viper Room and to say, oh, man, I went to the Viper Room.
Right.
Well, I understand that. No problem. I still think you could kind of keep it down a little bit when you see a guy with an acoustic guitar up there. You know what I mean? But I also understand it's like, look, I didn't come in here for the show. I probably didn't even know it was playing. I just thought I could walk into the Viper Room kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, just respect for the artist in general. Like, there's an artist up there. Maybe this is as kumbaya as this may sound. I really do mean it. Like, an artist is sharing their wares. This is something they put their heart and soul in, and they're trying to show it to you. I don't care. Like, listen, if you want to boo when it's all over, certainly you're right, I guess. You know, I don't see the point. You know,
honestly, booing is the same and has the same effect as talking through the set.
It really. Listen, and I you know, depending on what's going on, I will say, if I'm being 100, there's only one time where I felt I was being disrespectful, but quite frankly, and it's, look, I get people like them, that's fine. Of course, I'm blanking on their name now. Southern Lord put them out. What was the band, the punk band that seemed to play everything for a year? Blast.
Yeah.
They're not horrible. They're not necessarily my own thing. I'm not as you know, as anybody who's listened, I'm not a huge punk guy. I do like punk, but it's not my thing. They're good. I get it. And I totally understand where, you know, where he's coming from, where it's like, look, I have my own label. I want to help out the bands that I loved as a kid and so on. No problem. But it's just like, that year, I just had an ass full of blast. Somebody isolate
an ass
that.
blast.
Yeah, literally. You know, it's just like, and I think we saw them. It must have been at the complex, and it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm not standing. I can't.
We actually saw them, like I think a total of 3 times that year.
Oh, at least.
It was Power of the Riff.
Yep.
Complex.
Yep.
And then at the observatory.
Yes, the Yob one,
Yob
right?
And
yeah.
Neurosis.
Yes, where Yob had to cut it short.
Yep.
And I was like, cut down. You know, and again, listen. And I know I sound like a hypocrite, and you're absolutely correct. That is an artist. They are sharing their wares.
Sure.
And listen, for many of the shows, I stood up, I clapped when it was over. Good job, way to go. But it's the thing where you're just like, you know, for me, it was just, that's the one time. And I did. I kind of was like, I'm going to do it as respectfully as I possibly can. I'm just going to sit. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to, when it was over, I clapped. Good job. Have a great day. And if I saw them, I wouldn't be like, fuck you, Blast, you suck. You know what I mean? Like, no, dude, look, not everybody's thing is for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I get it, dude. And it's just like, to me, that's just, like you said, just be excellent to each other. Just be cool, man.
Yeah,
that's
go to
it.
the patio. You know, you're not, if you lose your spot, then fucking A, man. Like, so what?
Yeah.
Right.
So
what?
Yes. And
Go
by
to
the way,
another place.
yes, and add that to, you know, the list too. Your spot is not guaranteed to you.
Right.
Get there early.
Yeah.
Try to get there. By the way, I understand you need to get shit-faced drunk, apparently, to have a great time, but that doesn't mean you get to push your way through every fucking person who took the time to sit in front. You know, like, again, just be cool to each other, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's also, you know, the other side of that is, if you're going to push your way, just go ahead. I'm not going to confront you on whatever. I just be an asshole. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, especially when you think about, like, for the most part, one of the cool things that you see people who outside of it don't understand is like a mosh pit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like violence, and it is, but it's a controlled violence. And when somebody falls, they help the person up. When somebody looks like they're getting, whoa, we stop. We help them out. I mean, several times I've been on the outside, and I've gotten knocked and my glasses went flying, and I thought, well, that'll be the end of that. Oh, no. Everybody stopped. They got out the phones. They're trying to see, where's the, you know, oh, they found my glasses. Hey, thank you very much. You know what I mean? That kind of coolness is like, okay, extend that everywhere, you know, and including for the artist.
Here is where I do have to kind of put a
stopper. Yeah, please.
Whether it's slam pit, mosh pit, whatever you want to call it, that is not universal. That, you know,
understandable.
I understand it should be.
Yes.
But there are scenes that kind of built their reputations on, like, let's be as numbskullery and as ignorant as we can possibly get. And it's not limited to punk.
No.
Because it's metal.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely.
It's a bunch of other stuff.
And you can usually pick those guys out. And they're by the way, they're always guys. You can can always pick out those guys pretty much when the show starts, where you go, I think you're just here to beat up on people.
Yeah, there is this thing. Well, I guess, you know, the kids call it crowd killing. Yeah, right, where someone's having fun, somebody comes up and just kind of shuts down their show. Yes, physically. Yes, right, very aggressively, very physically.
Yes,
And I say this because a lot of these music scenes, not just metal or punk, but a lot of these music scenes pride themselves on being open and inviting to outsiders.
Yes.
Right? So if that's the case...
Yes. That's counterintuitive.
Right? Like, don't you want the people who step into the venue and see the crowd having fun and the bands doing their thing?
Right.
You don't want to see old people and younger kids getting beat up on by the very much in shape, more buff than they should be individual, right? Like,
right. I'm here to kick ass and chew gum. I'm out of gum.
And I don't know how to spell gum.
My scene is open to all people to eat my fist.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So it's like, I get it. You're having fun. But
yes.
And there's always going to be people who will want to take you up on your kind offer of fisticuffs.
No doubt.
In the pit.
Unfortunately, yes.
You know, and that's cool.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah,
If it's an agreed upon thing,
absolutely.
Get to it. But if you know there's people either on the sides, in the back, don't go looking for them. Don't go mess up their time. Because that's just,
and don't grab them. I've had that one too.
Don't grab
and they grab you and pull you into things. Like, hey, man, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
I've had that too, where I've gone to shows and I'm like standing there. And I mean, again, for anybody who might not be in the know, I am 100% blind.
Right.
I utilize a white cane everywhere I go. So if you're grabbing me into the pit, man, I'm just going to drop.
Yeah, no, that's a scary thought. I mean,
Right? So, it's, again, be cool.
Right. I mean, I know. You're right. Like, ultimately, this episode's 2 seconds. It's called Be Cool to Each Other.
Yeah, be cool.
Have a nice day.
See you guys.
Thank you. See you next week.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I get that. It's just to say, and again, I'm not here to police.
Of course,
I'm not. It's just look. It's ridiculous to think otherwise. I mean, he's a pussy, but whatever. I'm not interested. I don't give a shit. I'm just simply saying, like, look, I do believe the more we can do. Let's be honest. The more we can do these things in society, it would help us. Let alone at a show, so that we can keep these scenes going and make it. Like you said, if we really do want to have our flag planted that says, hey, all you misfits and freaks and weirdos that don't feel like you have a place, you got it here, man.
Yep.
Well, then you have to foster that. And you're right. Walking in and going, I think these are my people that are getting slaughtered on the floor. What the fuck's going on? Like I remember there was an older, this is a long, long time ago. I remember reading a story like, I guess it's also to say, remember, actions have consequences too.
Yeah.
There was this band. They must have been fairly local. I'd never heard of them. But the story that was going around was these guys, maybe they played kind of a bro-tastic kind of metal, right?
Okay.
So these guys decided that they didn't like them, and unfortunately they were on a bill with the bands they did want to see. So they showed up and started playing Uno on the stage while the band was playing.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this.
And I do not advocate because, again, I think violence should be an absolute last resort. But needless to say, the singer didn't took a little umbrage to that, and he put a boot upside one of their heads.
Yeah.
And immediately everyone's like, what an asshole. Well, hold up. Yes. Unnecessary.
Sure.
I agree. But do not pretend you didn't show up with a stick and poke a bear in the belly, and when he swipes at you, you go, how dare you, bear?
Yeah.
Like, and by the way, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, you understand the internet isn't real life, right?
Right.
Like, life has consequences.
This is also not to be confused. Recently, I don't know, I forget the type of band it was. It was maybe, I might be wrong here, but just go with this.
Yeah, please.
It might be a fantasy-themed band, metal band.
I think I know where you're going. Go ahead. Yes.
People were playing Dungeon or Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
In which, okay.
Seems
Even
silly and weird,
it
but
does.
the band likes it,
The
right?
band is into it.
Okay, then
nobody else complained.
Then we're done here.
Let it be.
Absolutely. Just let it
right?
be. If I think if those kids thought they were being rude, or the band said, "Hey, man,"
Yeah.
that's different. But clearly, it's a thing they want to do in combination with this other thing they love, and the band, like, in a weird way for them, it is their wall of death.
Yes,
it is
totally.
their, doing the, grabbing the lawn or mowing the lawn or whatever those little, hardcore dances are. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? Absolutely. That's a great point. I do remember that. And you're right. And you did see a lot of the, culter than thous, like, oh, fucking losers.
Yeah.
It's like kind of, I think, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but Amon Amarth or maybe those kinds of bands where the guys look like they're rowing.
Yes, they like sit down,
yeah,
and like a row formation, and they just
I'm not gonna get into that. That's not gonna be my thing. But there is this other part, like, oh, I'm sorry, are people having fun?
Yeah, it's like, didn't we come here to have fun?
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like, oh, but it's not my cool stand in the corner with my arms crossed in black fun.
Right.
Okay, well, then you can do it. Nobody's telling you can't do that. Go do that.
Yeah.
Let these guys have it. Who gives it? They're hurting no one, and they're
Right.
having a fucking blast, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I think some of that is, let's not forget, we should be having fun at this thing, man.
Exactly.
You
like
know?
Anymore, we're paying upwards of 50 and over for tickets.
Yes.
Right. Plus parking costs,
God.
plus drinks, whatever
LA
whatever have you.
The LA fees alone.
The fees, the fucking the permissions to buy a ticket online and all this shit, right? So imagine doing all this, spending over $150.
Right.
You go to a show and you're the one that fucks it up for everybody else.
Right.
Like, God, man, that's embarrassing. Right?
Yeah. Or to be mad because they're having fun.
Because
And,
they're having, they went there.
I
to
must
do,
take to the online and tell everyone that rowing is lame.
Yeah, you know.
Or what? Like, how did that interfere with your ability to have a good time at the show?
I think the real complaint there is they're in better shape than I am because I can't row a boat to save my life.
I would even argue, let's be completely honest, for some of them, I think they're jealous.
Yeah.
They don't have the ability to, they are too self-involved or aware, or maybe I'm probably using the wrong terminology, but you know what I mean? Like, they're too self-conscious. There it is.
Yes.
They're too self-conscious to do it.
Yep.
Like, these guys are free. They're just having a fucking blast. Maybe a little alcohol lubricating that too, and that's fine.
But see,
better than throwing punches.
That's the best use of that alcohol, I guess. You know, and I'm not saying here like, oh, drink.
No. I'm not against drinking either. I'm just saying,
drink whatever you want, but if it starts ruining my night, you're gonna hear about
absolutely.
it. Right?
You know, again, it's just, you know, and again, like, that's what we're ultimately talking about. It's just like kind of the etiquette of how to, like, just be at a show and have fun. Number one, you should be having fun.
Yeah.
This should be, I mean, it is entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, yes, I understand that many of the bands we see aren't exactly singing about sunshine and roses. I get that part, but it's still fun and entertaining. The power of that music alone is so amazing that's what you should be walking out of there with a smile.
Yes.
To some degree, right?
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, what are we doing this
Right.
for?
Right.
Like, I you know what I mean? Like, that's the elation when it's all over, the clapping, the wow, yes, oh my God, the memory, you know? So it's like, however someone wishes to enjoy that, as long as it's respectful to the band and those around you, I'm all for it.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And I just think that, you know, I know I'm telling people, hey, you don't get to tell people what to do at a show. But anyway, here's the next thing to tell people what to do at a show. Again, believe me, I am swimming in my own hypocrisy. I understand that. It's just to say, you know, as we said at the beginning, if we were running a club, what would be our bylaws? What would be our rules to let people say, hey, this is how we can all better enjoy this? You know,
I know
what I mean?
this is one. Maybe you
Please,
have this
please.
on your list. Cell phones.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the latest one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, because it is the latest technology.
Sure.
You know, there's a lot of fight over that, you know. Obviously, we went to see the Misfits at the Forum. Danzig makes sure that we all put our phones in a pouch.
Yeah.
When the show was over, the bottom of the Forum was littered with pouches. I know Jack White was very vocal about that. And there is, listen, I think like anything, everything is balance.
Sure.
For these artists to pretend for a second that if they couldn't have had a camera at a show. By the way, all the fucking pictures of you literally kept your Yvonne around because he had a goddamn camera, Glenn.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on, you know.
He wasn't known to be an exceptional bassist. He was the Misfits photographer.
Yes,
right?
and by the way, this is some amazing photography that we get of this band.
Yeah,
seeing them with Vampira and seeing them with like the Hollywood, what do you call it?
At Universal
Studios,
Yeah.
shit like that. Like, dude, by the way, that's how you saw the look of the Misfits.
Right.
The devil locks and everything else. So to me, it's like, to pretend for a second that you wouldn't have, if you had a camera at these shows, you wouldn't have taken pictures. You're a fucking lying sack of shit. Now, if what you're upset about is, I must take 100 pictures, or I must record from the moment you hit the first lick to the last one, okay, now we can talk. I get that. I do understand that. For an artist to want you to be, the Jack White's argument ultimately, from what I read and saw, was, I want you to be in the moment. I want you to be present.
Be present, yeah.
Totally understand that.
Sure.
I don't know how present you are if you're staring through your phone the entire time. You know?
Yeah, I mean, this is one that kind of, splits me, because I have gone to shows where I know, especially in the past when I was able to.
Sure.
And if I knew I was going to be witnessing something that maybe wasn't ever going to, happen again.
Yes.
Then yeah, I'll videotape as much as I can
I gotcha.
without. But here's the caveat: without interrupting anybody else.
Yes.
Like, I'm not gonna hold my phone up over my head with the brightest of
Right.
intensity.
Don't bring your iPad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's not my home recording studio
Right, exactly.
with my 4K television,
Right.
being transmitted.
Sorry,
to the
Martin
internet.
Scorsese. I'm trying to watch the goddamn show here,
I hope you were ready for your close-up.
Right. But please, go ahead.
But
yes.
it's just, I have taken part in where, like, I've recorded,
Mhm.
2 or 3 songs
Sure,
maybe in succession. But I've always tried to be aware of the people I'm around.
100%. Yes.
I know I'm a big guy, so if there are people that might be a little shorter than I
hear
am,
you.
which, no disrespect to the short kings
No,
and queens
no,
of the
no,
world,
not at all.
but, I try to maybe not be in their way.
I hear you.
In fact, both my wife Amy and I, if we try to take pictures, she always asks for permission, or
Mhm.
I'll always just kind of sneak one in,
Gotcha.
and bam, that's it. Because honestly, we want, for example,
Mhm.
if Aaron here pays for his ticket to go to the show, but Aaron here also takes out his telephone and is in front of somebody next to me who's trying to enjoy the show,
Right.
Aaron's gonna get asked, "Hey man, can you maybe move around a bit so that my friend here can enjoy the show?" You know, I think that's fair to be done. But also, like, if you're not considering that, like, I thought we were all here for the same thing. Right?
You would hope so. Like, I do wonder, again, this isn't to necessarily get on a huge soapbox, but again, I do think it's like, even with the talking.
Yeah.
Is this an internet thing where it's like music now has become something that, for some, is on in the background while they do other things?
Yes.
And by the way, I do that too. Not always, but sometimes. So the idea of even being at a show, they're not separating the two. Like, this isn't you playing iTunes at home, man.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
we're all here. So the same thing with the camera thing. It's like, I'm here to get, and it's also like look, like pictures, for instance.
Yeah.
God, at this point, I would say probably the last 7 or 8 years of pictures that I have, they're all saved. And they're fun to look back on every now and again. I actually made it my background on my computer, so it flips through pictures randomly.
Yeah, it just rotates.
Yeah, and it's really neat to see. Like, and by the way, there's been a few. Holy shit! I forgot I went to that show.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm glad I had that. Don't get me wrong. Nobody's Annie Leibovitz ain't coming over and going like, "Yeah, I need some of those." They're not great photos, but at the same time, it's like I'm glad it's a nice souvenir to have.
Sure.
By the way, we can't save our tickets anymore because we don't get one.
Right.
So, it is just a nice souvenir to have. But yes, I'm always trying to be conscious of the idea of, like, I do not want to get in anyone's way, put my phone up in the air, get my pictures, and pull my phone immediately down. It doesn't need to be forever for everything. You know what I mean? And I know with social media, that's also increased because for many, it's not enough to be there. It's that I have to let everyone know I'm there.
Not just that, but I have to let everyone know I'm there first.
Right. Yes, for sure. Yes,
Where, like, as soon as the first note is strummed,
right,
out come the phones, and okay, I maybe that's a thing of a younger generation. Which,
sure.
I'll accept.
Absolutely.
I'll accept.
Listen,
right?
yes.
It's not something that I'm used to.
No.
And of course, this is gonna sound like, fucking older versus.
Yeah, no,
it's not that at all.
Not at all. No.
It's just more of a, like. I read it somewhere where it was kind of considered a what was it, main character syndrome?
Oh, okay, yeah,
right?
yeah,
Where,
yeah,
like, where to your point where you said people listen to music on where it's in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they imagine, and again, this is all assumption, right?
Yeah.
maybe they imagine that the soundtrack that's being played is for their movie that somebody's watching.
I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, we are, we're always the main character in our stories.
Yeah,
Always.
yeah, right. So like, we've for sure seen those movies where the main character is at a show.
Yeah.
And somehow the band in the back isn't as loud as we know they could be.
Right.
But we can hear that dialogue perfectly.
Right.
And maybe that's what they want. Which, okay, fine. Go out and get that.
Right.
But you're going to get asked at one point to be either quiet or to move. You can't be upset.
Yeah,
you
no.
cannot be upset.
And by the way,
right?
there's time between bands. You can be social then.
Yeah.
Talk all you want. Nobody gives a fuck.
15 to 20 minutes.
Absolutely.
At a minimum.
But when the band comes on, like, let's all just be respectful for who's up there sharing their wares. It's the least you can do. And by the way, this is what you paid for. Isn't this what you paid for?
Again, this is what you paid for.
It's cheaper to go to a bar where you could talk all fucking night long than it would be to pay for a ticket to being interrupted by these loud guitars, wouldn't it? Like, and again, I'm with you a lot on the photo thing. 100% is just to say they're great souvenirs. I do understand why people would want to do them. I do think, like most things, it is about moderation. That, it is okay to just have the memory and not have to actually play the memory every time.
Yeah.
And by the way, like, if, but I'll be the one that you'll be the one of 50 people who have
exactly.
Come on, man. Like, stop it. It's okay,
Yeah, and on the flip side,
Mhm.
here's one. Back to the band perspective.
Please.
Because I know I've come across this a lot of times. I've never had to do this myself.
Mhm.
I do know of others that have had to do this.
Yes.
Where they are playing a show, and there is a thing out there called a stage potato.
Mhm.
Stage potatoes are mostly folks that kind of just sit on stage. Sometimes, very, very rarely, it's a photographer that's just kind of planted themselves on a certain part of the stage.
Right.
I myself I'm not a performer that moves around, being that I'm blind, and if I move around, I'm falling off the stage.
But your kickflips are absolutely amazing.
I mean, I've had to work on those, so I'm glad somebody noticed.
Well, just call him like I see him.
But there are instances where either a guitarist, bassist, or the singer, for the most part, are the ones moving around the stage.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say the stage is my place when I'm here, but
it is.
Well, yeah, but also, like, I understand the necessity of having somebody out there take pictures or even video of what you're doing.
I hear you.
Right?
I hear you.
But here's where I think I'm gonna kind of ask for a little bit of awareness on the stage potatoes part.
100.
Where if you know that the performer moves around,
right,
and they're coming at you,
yeah,
be mindful and maybe you move.
Yeah, work together.
Yeah, because you can't ask the singer to move the other way.
Yeah,
he's full into his performance or into their performance.
Absolutely,
right.
So
I
and by the way, again, we did not pay to see photo guy.
Exactly right. Yeah. So I have unfortunately seen instances where singer maybe slaps a camera out of someone's hands or kicks a person or whatever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes this person that gets aggressed on is maybe smaller of stature. Maybe unaware that the punch or the kick was coming their way.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And this is where I do kind of. If you're the person with the microphone or you're the person performing, you get to say, like, hey, we're going to do this thing.
Yes.
Kind of like Lisa and Bart.
I got you.
I'm going to do this, and if you get in my way, that's your fault.
I got
right?
you. Yeah.
Where, shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
Shit's going to always kind of, it's going to boil over, whatever it is, whether it's the performance or the clash of the what's the saying? The immovable object.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Whatever the hell it is. It's
some kind of science thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's some fucking motion shit.
Einstein probably said that. I don't know. He's a fucking
dork.
Yeah. Loser.
Fucking German
I
Nazi.
like math.
But yeah, so it is unfortunate that it happens.
Right.
And I'm not going to take any blame away from the person who's doing the punching or kicking.
The performer. I hear you 100%.
But, like, this is where use the fucking thing that you're singing the song with, which is your mouth and the microphone.
Yeah,
like, say like, hey man, I'm gonna go that way.
And you know that is you know and not take it off topic, but just say we've seen that where we see these artists who do call out assholes in the crowd, especially if they're beating up on girls, like hey,
yeah.
You know, but Josta from Hatebreed, I know he's got more than a couple where he's like, whoa, you're out, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna watch you do this to these people, especially ladies. Get the fuck out. You know.
Yeah.
So it's you're right. You know, weirdly, you have this power, and you literally have the loudest voice in the entire
room.
place.
Yeah. So and you know, to go back,
please.
It's kind of funny that we're using him as the main example in this one, but Danzig, who doesn't like pictures taken, and has in the past jumped off stage to get someone's camera.
Right.
Here's again where I'm kind of split, because these people are documenting what you're doing. Obviously, they're here because maybe they know your past work, they know your legacy, as it were, of brutality. You know, they know that people want to see you on stage
for sure,
right? So if it's, I get it. If it's a constant light in your face,
absolutely,
I get it.
Yeah. Flash photography, all that
stuff, right?
100.
But if it's a couple of pictures and they're in the press pit or in the photographer pit that you know venues kind of save up front, what's the problem here? Right?
You know, and great point. And you brought up something that it reminded me. I have been to shows. I want to say the Observatory, maybe one of them.
Yeah.
Where the press little part is only open for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they shoo them out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if guys who make their living can figure out how to get their photos in 5 minutes, you can do the same sitting in the crowd.
From what a friend of ours,
please,
one Diana Lungu, I think she said that you get like a certain time frame at the start and at the end of the set.
Okay.
Or like you get songs, you get to choose songs or something that you come in for.
No problem.
You know, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Like you get the start of the set when there's, you know.
Once again, we're being excellent to each other. We're helping.
Exactly.
Like, look, I don't need you fucking photoing every goddamn move I make, but I understand you want to get photos. So what would be best for you? How can we work together to make this happen? Absolutely. Yeah, no, I you know, and I mean, you know, again, punching the photographers and stuff like that, like I just don't, you know, and you know, like you mentioned the Danzig thing. I mean, this whole pouch thing. It's like, well, how much do those pouches cost you, Danzig?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's almost like the moment you tell everybody there's a pouch, they all go, "Oh, I'm definitely taking pictures now."
Yes.
I'll keister this fucking camera if I have to. You know what I mean? And I just think to myself, like, what if he had just said, "Listen, guys, I'd appreciate it if I didn't look out and constantly see cell phones. Getting a few pictures, I totally understand, but let's not make it a habit."
Right.
Maybe people would be respectful of that. You know, I think of one thing I remember mentioning to you earlier is like the guy from Earth. We've seen Earth live many times, and he will say, "Please, no flash photography," because apparently he has seizures and stuff like that. I've never once seen them where anyone goes, "Whoops!" Like, no. Everyone's respectful of it and goes, okay, then no flash photography. I mean, number one, I don't want to see this guy have a seizure on stage. And two, because I respect the artist and I'm here to see them. Like, and it's just like, you do wonder the communication. Even to Jack White's point, he did say in the interview I saw, he said, I will come out on stage and say, hey, everybody, maybe we don't do that to this time. And he says, I see a lot of relief in people's faces. I see a lot of people who go, good. I didn't want to look through a sea of cell phones any more than you did. And maybe that's true. You know, it may be one of those things too, like, I don't want to say fad, but you do wonder, maybe in 20 years, it won't be as big of a deal. Maybe we won't care to take that many. You know what I mean? We have this newfangled toy, you know, we're just monkeys with opposable thumbs looking at technology.
I mean,
like,
honestly,
you know?
Honestly, I don't know that to be the case because there are more ways to capture video and pictures now.
Of course,
right?
Yes.
Like with those glasses and, you know, the fucking headsets and shit like that can record, right? So I don't necessarily see passing us by, but I kind of see it being more involved in a way because, like, especially if you're wearing glasses, you get a more up close.
No, and maybe that's maybe that'll be the next evolution that actually cures everything.
Yeah, I mean that.
Right, I'm not in your way. I'm not interfering with you.
Yeah,
you don't. If you're the artist, you have no fucking clue if I'm doing it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One thing that I did remember,
unless I guess I'm trying to get close-up shots, that would be a little weird.
Get your face on my crotch, buddy.
He is really looking at my guitar.
I do remember at a bunch of venues, and I don't know that they still have this. where there would be signs out front, no flash photography.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
No, you
Like-
can. Yeah. Sure.
Like you can use your phone,
Yes.
just no flash.
Yes.
No, don't have the light on. Which again, if that suggestion or if that request is made up front, I think more people are prone to be respectful of it.
I think so.
You know, because again, we don't like nobody likes being told what to do.
Nobody.
And especially if you're being scolded, like, hey, I told you not to do this shit. You know, so
And I would say an added is, I just paid to come into this place.
right. Yeah.
Now that doesn't mean I guess you get to destroy it. Like no,
Right.
no. There's still rules you got to follow.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
there is a little more sense of, maybe lack of a better word, entitlement, because hey, I have a ticket that says I'm allowed to come in here.
Right.
You know?
There is that's a big one, I think,
Yeah.
where the purchase of the ticket instantly, no matter
Yeah.
no matter who you are, whether
Yep.
you're respectful or not,
I hear you.
you will feel a sense of entitlement.
And,
where-
and there is a balance there, right? They
Sure.
just say, like, listen, I paid for this ticket. Like, I deserve a spot. I deserve to hear what
Yeah.
you're going to do. To some degree, I deserve, for, however you wish to define, a good show.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? I think I'm owed that. I paid money.
yeah.
You know, I think of another one we went to, Sun. Last time we saw them when Attila,
Oh, yeah.
it was no cameras.
Right. Yeah.
Now, it was weird because they said it when you bought the ticket.
yeah.
They said it when you walked in the venue.
Yeah.
And you still watched people. I watched the guy literally walk into the venue right in front of us, pull his phone out, lift it up, like he was just for the stage. And then the thing that I was more bothered by was, okay, let's say he didn't notice these things. Let's say he just really wasn't paying attention.
Sure.
Was that security immediately went up to him and said, hey, man, you can't do it. Okay, you're out of here. And he's like, wait, what? And it's like, now they didn't end up kicking him out. But they're like, if I see it again, you'll get kicked out.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you can't be just kicking people out the first time, or even threatening the
like,
first time.
that's
Everybody
kinda-
gets a warning. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't give a shit if the sign, you fucking put skywriting up. I don't give a
Right.
fuck. Everybody gets a warning.
I'll still miss that sign.
It's like, hey, I fucking paid for this ticket, dude.
Yeah,
And again,
yeah.
I didn't walk in with my penis out. Like, this is a fucking
Right.
camera. Calm down,
That- Again, with the be cool, I think that also applies to the venue
Oh,
and
for
performers,
sure,
where
yes.
it's like, hey, man, there's gonna be some give and some take.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Where like, if they don't abide by a request,
Yes.
you can't come down with them with the almighty hand of God
Yes.
and say you're out, you're banned for
Right.
fucking ever. Right. Like, give them a warning.
Yeah, and if I see it again, I have to. And even with that, it was like, I get like, it's the fear. I get the presence part.
Sure.
I guess I hope there's no fear. Like, is there some thinking that it's like, well, some asshole will record the whole show, put it up on YouTube, and then no one will show up to the next one? Or
this is
or
funny.
less people will show up because they'll go, I watched it on YouTube.
Here's a weird thing. So
Please.
you and I both know a local documenter of shows
Absolutely.
by the name of Arturo Gallegos. Sex Trash 69 on YouTube for those interested.
Yes, sir.
He's been going to shows for a long time, and he's got access to some clubs that, honestly, when they let him record the shows there, it's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. He
You know,
gets great
he-
sound, great visuals, everything. Yeah.
He really cares for what he does, and he makes 0 cents off of it.
And usually works with the bands 9 times out of 10.
And the clubs.
Yeah.
And the clubs.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
just to say, like, it's not just the club trying to benefit from it. The
Right,
bands think
right.
it's great too. And, he's respectful all the way around.
All the way around.
And
yeah.
that-
So, when it's a videographer,
Mhm.
I think the clubs maybe think that, and in fact, maybe not from him,
Yeah, I
not
got
from
you.
Arturo,
I
but
got-
from other people.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have heard that like clubs think like, well, I'll just go home and watch it streamed.
Right.
Which I can understand that worry,
Yeah.
but also if a band's coming to town
Yeah.
and you really want to see them,
Thank you.
you're gonna want to go see them live, right?
Yes. If you really want to see them live, you want to see them live.
Yeah.
Seeing them on YouTube, it just ain't gonna be the same.
No, not at all.
It's just not. That's the alternative.
That
Shit,
is-
they're
yeah.
sold out. Oh well.
That's the consolation.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, most of our toros aren't even streamed, right? It's the day after,
The
right?
day after.
So
yeah.
I mean, again, and I know I will not say the venue, but I know of one venue. I remember one time he was telling me that it was a newer venue at the time, or I think newer venue plus came under newer management. And he asked him about recording. The guy was like, "Well, I would need at least like $400." Like what?
Right. Yes.
Like so. It's some of that, but again, not getting off on another tangent. Maybe that's just the constant businessman that thinks that you're getting over on him, so he needs something from you, so he feels like he, because well, if you want something, then you must be getting something for it,
right, Right.
But I think all those things are it's just a weird thing. Like, what would my pictures? By the way, I got pictures anyway. Sorry, son. Of Attila, and by the way, a lot of people did. They snuck those cameras pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
What would my pictures do to deter from the overall?
There is no detriment.
I don't see how it is. And more importantly, when I post them, and people go, "Oh man, amazing show! Oh man, I'm hoping to see them next week." And oh yeah, I'm gonna, it's gonna. I never get the awesome. Now I don't have to see them.
Right.
You know, thank God for that 14-second video you put up. I'm done.
Even the times that I've been lucky enough to perform in front of people.
Sure.
Where in the past I was able to notice maybe someone snap a picture here and there.
Oh, yeah.
I always go into places with an assumption of maybe these people might enjoy what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if they take a picture or a short video clip, that's cool. Now I know someone that I don't know that's not that's not a friend.
Yeah.
Right? Is aware of my band. They're enjoying what I do to the point where they want to promote it. Exactly.
Right? I mean, that's what they're saying.
At this show.
Holy crap, look at this band. This is fucking awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know the mentality of the places that kind of ban this outright, because there is room for workarounds, right? There is room for some leeway here. In both what the fan and the spectator does and what the venue asks of the fan.
Absolutely. And I just, I imagine, because, let's be honest, lawyers have completely fucked our world. But, I'm sure they're in the club owners' ears. Like, look, if you make it too wishy-washy, you're never going to be able to enforce anything. It's just easier to say no.
Right, yeah.
And be done with it, But it's just, like I said, we're living in a different world now, and people want those souvenirs. And getting those pictures are really cool. They, again, whether you share them or not, or how you share them, I'm not interested. But I think most people are also keeping them.
Yep.
I don't think they're just throwing them up on Instagram.
No.
And now that you can do it so much easier than bringing a disposable camera or a flash photography kind of camera, it's like, holy moly. And by the way, as good as any phone is, it's never going to compare with somebody who actually has a camera. Like, I'm not putting anybody out of business with my Samsung that's 80 years old.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think that, to kind of come back around, I do think photos is that is our latest kind of kerfuffle when it comes to the live show, and one that's interesting when it comes to one that affects the performer and the fan in interesting ways, depending on how that performer feels. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah.
And that's kind of where it started for me, just in general. Although, and I don't mean to pick on the man. It's just, I think the other one that I don't know why it just hit me. I was like, the other one I always thought was kind of interesting was remember when Bruce Dickinson was lamenting the smoking of weed at the shows?
Yep.
And I just thought, listen, I get what he's saying. Like, look, this is my instrument. It needs to be like, I want to put on a good show. And look, if you, the man does. If you're an Iron Maiden fan, that guy puts on a fucking great show. He's got one of the great metal voices. Totally understand. But it did really come off like, listen here, whippersnappers.
Yeah.
Enough with your smoking of the weeds. It's like, dude, people fucking want to get high. And by the way, many of the states you're playing in, it's perfectly legal for them to do. You're not mad at the drunks that are probably singing the song along with you horribly, are you?
Horribly, yeah.
You know what I mean?
By the way, can we get some of those folks out?
Right. And again, like, I see both sides of it. I truly do.
Sure.
But this idea, like, they're blowing it in my face. No, shut up, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody's fucking taking a hit and blowing it in Bruce Dickinson's face.
Now, a counter to that same scenario is, I saw a long time ago Bobby Steele and the Undead play at Que Sera in Long Beach.
Okay.
Small venue.
Sure.
Stage is very small there. And so the Undead is doing this thing, and halfway into their first song, Bobby Steele stops and tells people, hey, if you guys keep smoking, I'll stop playing because I have asthma.
Oh, okay.
So here's the thing. Fully understandable that he, one, used the stage to get that across.
There you
he wasn't entirely rude about it.
Mm-hmm.
And to his credit, people, kind of went, like, why are we smoking? This was a super long time ago.
They're definitely smoking in Los Angeles.
Yeah, right. So
you get more prison time than if you ran a red light. Yeah.
So people, they either went outside to smoke or they just put out their cigarettes and their clothes and all that, and it was cool. It was
and again, it goes to the kind of the thing I was saying about the Earth guy. Like, I do think most people, if you're going to see these people, it's because you're a fan.
Yeah,
I don't want to offend. I don't want to be shitty. I don't want to hurt you.
Right.
So yeah, of course. And again, that communication, right?
Yep.
Say it ahead of time.
Say it.
Don't. You know what I mean? And,
Don't assume it.
Don't assume. Yeah. That's great points. I think the last one that for me is, and we've been circling it, is the venue itself.
Okay.
Respecting the venue.
Oh yeah, there's
respecting the venue, respecting the people that live around that venue.
Yeah. Our beloved complex.
Perfect example.
R.I.P.
Dude,
because people didn't respect the venue.
And now listen, that one is in a weird spot. It's in Glendale, and it's on a strip, and then there's nothing but residential homes all around it. So yeah, it's not like when you go to a normal place in Hollywood where the only thing around are parking lots and other venues.
Right.
But nonetheless, man, listen, I get it. I've been there. I know I'm not legal to drink, so we sit in the fucking car and we pound beers. And yeah. But just don't break them on the fucking sidewalk or leave your trash all over the place.
Yeah.
And especially when you think of like cities like a Glendale, like these people don't fuck around. They love their city. They want their city to remain the way it is. And especially with heavy metal, the look, the sound is always going to be combative to those outside of it. So they're already got their guard up.
Yep.
And now when they're looking around, they're seeing a bunch of fucking knuckleheads smashing their glass, bottles against the wall and pounding beers out in the parking lot, which, by the way, was also by a fucking playground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, they're gonna call the city and they're gonna complain.
Yeah.
Like, and by the way, if you live there, you'd probably be doing the same. Don't pretend otherwise.
That's true.
But it's just about respect the area, respect the venue, man. Don't show up and treat the venue like shit, because it, as we saw with the complex, as you said, it goes away.
It goes away, yeah.
And God knows there's enough of these things closing in LA, and more importantly, closing period as live music becomes less and less of, a thing that people necessarily go see.
Yeah. I mean, punks out there know the phrase "don't burn the spot."
Okay,
which
right
is,
on, dude.
Which is, it's
nice.
It's pretty much self-explanatory. You go to a place. There is a venue, Unfair Oaks.
Yes. Oh,
which,
yeah.
Great fucking place.
Yeah.
It's a cool fucking place. Cool people.
Absolutely.
That run the place.
Great shows there.
Great shows, but they purposefully don't kind of advertise themselves as outwardly as other places, because it is firstly a residential area.
Yeah.
Right. It is somebody's residence, and it's lasted the amount of time it's lasted because people are, for the most part, respectful.
Absolutely.
There, right.
Absolutely.
And that's I think a great fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
Like the fact that we lose venues maybe every week at some, it seemed at some point.
Yeah.
And it's because both the venue is not handled well, and the people going to the venue are also just kind of taking it for granted.
Absolutely.
Which is the main thing, right?
Yes.
Like we take it for granted at one point.
As if, what am I doing that would affect you? Well, you'd be surprised.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, it's easy to muffle the sounds of the loud music.
Yes.
I can do that all day long.
Yeah.
But when you jackasses are outside acting like morons, what would you like me to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I know, like sound like an old man yelling at young boy. God knows I did plenty of that fucking pre-partying out in a parking lot somewhere. You know what I mean? I'm just simply saying, like, learn from the old man here a little bit. It's just to understand. Like, look, if you're at the Forum and you want to fucking, who gives a shit? It's a fucking giant corporation parking lot.
They're not going to
They
notice.
don't care. Yeah. The Chargers aren't, fucking SoFi across the street isn't going to come over and be like, we're out of here. You know what I mean? Like, no, they're fine. You know what I mean? But when you're going to these local places, small places, like, respect the venue and understand by respecting the venue, taking care of it, taking care of that community, keeps that venue around to keep seeing more and more great shows there.
Yeah,
we have it with like Coaxial. We have it with like the Handbag Factory. country.
Handbag, yeah.
Like, these are small little like collectives to a degree, and you know we've seen some amazing
Yep.
you know experimental noise and you know industrial shows there.
Yeah.
And I think to myself like that they're like the perfect example of that. Like you feel the community when you're there. You understand it
Yes.
only exists because we're all here.
Because and because we're all on the same page, respectful.
Dude.
Like you're there for the performance.
Yes.
You're not there to. Obviously, you're there to socialize.
To a degree, yeah. And
know?
there's an area for that, by the way.
There is exactly because I remember the last time when we went to go see who was it, Miserable.
Yes.
For once it was incredibly packed inside.
Yeah.
So I said maybe I'll stay outside, which was fine because
Yeah.
I could hear the performance,
Right.
but I could also just hang out outside,
Absolutely.
and that was more than fine for me. What was I gonna say?
Please.
About the people respecting the venue.
Yes.
Realize that like a lot of the stuff that you and I and maybe a lot of our listeners might be into are scenes that start small and then get big. So these venues, because they're smaller, they don't have the resources that the Forum has,
Dude.
or the Staples Centers of the world, right?
Yes.
Like, again, we were talking complex. We're talking the 5-star bar,
Yes.
supply and demand, where it's street parking.
Yes. Yes.
You have to kind of, if you're a performer, you have to rush in and find parking out front, or unload your stuff real quick and
Yeah.
go find a safe space.
Double parking, knowing where your
Double- yeah,
four ways
exactly,
are at
right?
all
So,
time.
like,
yeah.
So all this comes into play.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna go and fuck it up for the venue, then your favorite performers aren't gonna be around as much.
And you'll be,
either.
by the way, they'll be the first ones to say, "Welcome to the place the fuck is this?" You know.
This came up yesterday,
Right.
when the Oxygen Destroyer, when I told them
Oh,
that supply
right.
and demand was
Right.
closed, and they had just been there a
Right.
year ago,
Right.
And I mean, to its credit, supply and demand, great fucking venue,
Absolutely. Yeah.
but it's gone now,
Yeah.
and it's like, damn, another one bites the dust.
And to your point, I mean, these small places, much like what do they always say, like 90% of restaurants close within the first year.
First year,
So many of these things are running on such a shoestring budget.
Yep.
That anything goes wrong. God knows, COVID. How many places went out of business just because of
Right,
COVID?
yeah,
So, all that stuff is again respect it. Just if you love it and you want it, then take care of it.
Yeah, be cool.
Absolutely, it's all of us. And I think like I said, I think that's how. That is the community we say we want to be a part of, the scene that we want to be a part of. Well, then we all have to do our part in it. And by the way, if you're also rude to fucking performers, well, fuck that place. I don't like playing there.
Right. Yeah. Because they don't do anything about the clientele. They just let
Exactly.
them walk all over the performers.
So it's like,
right?
fuck it. And then
Yeah.
I'm not playing there again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I said, these things are just interesting to me. Do you have any others?
I had
Oh,
one
please. Oh.
to a smaller degree,
Okay, please.
which was the Punishers of the world.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
I've only had a couple of run-ins with people that have gone to see any of my bands play
Okay.
that act like this, but I've certainly been this person as well.
Okay.
Where let's say we go to a show,
Mm-hmm.
and we go see, I don't know, fucking Emperor.
Okay.
Right? And we're both big Emperor fans.
Absolutely.
But I come in with 5 shirts, all of their albums on vinyl,
Yeah.
their demo,
Okay.
a couple of magazines that they were in back in the day. And I just hound them
Yeah. Oh.
and hound them
Yeah.
and say,
No.
I'm your biggest fan
Yeah.
because of all XYZ.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the Punishers.
I got
The
you.
ones that just need to be the utmost authority on either the band, the movie, whatever is being talked about, right?
And this is one we discussed when that whole thing happened with Chino Marino with the Deftones, where the guys came up with all those records.
Yes.
We discussed something very similar to
Yes.
this. And it's
yeah.
It's also being like no band guy wants to be Chino. Chino didn't want to be Chino in that moment.
Right.
But at some point you get a breaking point.
Yeah.
And Emperor's going to probably sign every one of those fucking things,
especially
because
if
you asked
you
them
dish
to.
out for that VIP
Well,
package.
I should hope so with that money. No offense. Make all the money you can, Emperor. You fucking deserve it.
You deserve it.
I'm just simply saying, yes. Yeah, it's all that, right? It's like again, be conscious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And understanding, like, not everything has to be signed.
Not every. Yeah.
Like,
right.
You know what I mean? It's just I. And again, it's always being aware, along with being excellent to each other.
Yeah.
Always remembering you're not the only person on earth.
Right. Because also
you share it with all of us.
on the flip side of that
Mhm.
exact same thing,
Please.
if people come up to you and and it's not a situation where the person is a quote unquote punisher, right, and they maybe want to get something signed or maybe just shoot the shit with you for a bit. Again, if you're the performer, be cool because they came to see you.
Absolutely.
Right.
Right.
A good example of a fucking idiot in this situation, once again related to Glenn Danzig, was Doyle, who very publicly made the comment about him not wanting to do meet and greets, even though he's still charging, $50 and up for a meet and greet. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're telling the people that are paying money. A lot of them are kids, let's be honest, right? Like, they're coming into this scene for the first time.
Yes.
They see easily one of the most physical and visual representations of what the Misfits were.
Yes.
And
the live action action hero.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, he's there, and he says, like, oh, yeah, if I could be anywhere else, I wouldn't be here, right? It's like, well, fuck, man. Like, that makes me feel like shit, you know?
Which is weird because you just go, again, the balance, like everything in life. The only reason you are Doyle is because people want to see Doyle.
Because people...
That doesn't mean you owe them an arm and a leg every moment of their time. Not at all.
Not at all.
The fan needs to understand that, too. These are human beings. By the way, you may catch them on a bad day. It's just to say, there's a lot of bad career moves, let's just say.
Oh, yes.
There's some that are both bad and good, like killing yourself. It's a really good career move for selling records. You just won't be there to collect the money.
You won't be there to enjoy.
But somebody will be enjoying it.
Yeah.
But like another one is to tell your fans how much you hate them.
Yeah, that's wild.
Wow, dude. There is a way to complain about that, by the way.
Sure.
That doesn't come across like, I love my fans. I love to see them. But I got to be honest, the road is tough. And every now and then, there's a way to say that. It doesn't come across as, the thing I hate the most is these fucking people that want to talk to me. Oh, you mean the ones that paid for the ticket, paid for the VIP, paid for your album? Yeah.
Especially when they pay for the meet and greet. I hate being there.
Why do I got to meet and greet at the meet and greet,
How do you even spell greet?
And I think that's why we find ourselves those who will always say that, so much more enduring to all of us, like the late, great Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, all right.
Who could never stop saying, I am here because of my fans, and I love them, and I appreciate all they ever did for me because it gave me the opportunity to be who I am. And I just think, there's the... By the way, one of the worst meet and greets I ever went to was Ozzy. I love the man with all my life. But, I could not... I neither got to meet nor greet Ozzy. I got to hand it to somebody who gave it to him while they all had a conversation and passed it down. And then somebody handed it to me at the end. As opposed to Danzig, of all people, who have met and greet twice, and he couldn't have been more delightful. You know what I mean? So it is to say, it's all that sort of thing, and I just it's an interesting career move you got there going there, Doyle. And the same with like I said with the hey, you guys are smoking dope. Like, listen, Iron Man fans ain't going anywhere, smoking dope or otherwise.
Right.
It's just to simply say like there's a way to praise that, Bruce, that you don't sound like an old man yelling literally at a marijuana club.
At a marijuana club, yeah, exactly. And you know what? Here's an interesting fact, and especially when it comes to me. Danzig, for all the shit he gets, well-deservedly in many cases.
Absolutely. Every
single time I've ever gotten something signed from him, especially in the past, has always been the absolute fucking coolest.
Dude.
And it's been, I don't have enough fingers or toes to count the times I've run into him.
I got you.
Every single fucking time, it's been like, big fan. And he's like, hey, thanks.
Yes.
Right? Or if I see him, like I used to see him at the Shrine Convention, the comic convention at the Shrine Auditorium.
Right.
And, I'm not going to lie. I fucking walk over to where he's taking a look at it and be like, hey, those are cool fucking movies, right? And he'd be like, yeah, and, spark up a quick 30-second conversation.
Sure.
All right, cool, man. Thanks. Enjoy your music. Big fan. See you later.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And he's always been super nice. He was never confrontational. And I know there are other stories.
Oh, for sure.
In fact, I did see once somebody tried to get a bootleg record signed by him, and he threw the record into the street.
Oh.
Which, again, he's made it very clear, especially more so in the past.
Sure,
not so much now with the
but there's
records.
still a way to...
Yeah, there's still a way of saying, like, I'm not going to sign that. Of course.
You can even get that fucking thing away from me. That's
yeah,
fine.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
throwing
yeah.
it in the street, like,
That is a dick move.
Yeah.
And again, like I said at the
Oh,
beginning,
absolutely.
don't be a dick.
no.
But for the most part,
Yeah.
I had good run-ins with the
Same.
the shirt guy.
And I would say they're most artists that I've ever run into.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I had the luxury of saying hi to or just letting them know I'm a big fan.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
but it's also me understanding, one, I'm shy and figured the last person they'd want to talk to is me, but also the part where it's just to say, I understand my relationship to them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we're not going to be best friends when this is all over, most
Right,
likely.
yes.
But I do think all artists appreciate a fan saying, I really appreciate what you did up there
All
or
of
what
them,
you do.
yeah,
You
all
know?
of 'em, all of
So,
'em.
yeah, all that is, again, all this comes down to, once again, be excellent to each other.
Be
Be
excellent to
kind.
each other.
Just treat each other cool. On both sides of the fence, whether you're the artist or whether you're the person in the crowd, but especially the person in the crowd.
Yes.
You
yeah.
know, it's just to say not only to the artist, but to the people around you. You know, and understand that if we really look at this as a shared collective, then let's make sure we're sharing that collective for all of us. You know,
exactly. I know we've said it before,
Mhm.
but a lot of it falls on us
It
to
does.
take care of each other,
Absolutely.
take care of the places we go to and frequent
Yes.
to get entertained.
Yes.
Right? Make sure, one, that we're not stomping over each other,
Right.
For the dumbest of reasons,
Right.
whatever. Unless that stomping is part of the fun,
Right.
which in many cases it is.
It can be.
Like,
Very-
walk into a hardcore show
Yes.
and you'll see what we mean. Right?
Absolutely.
What was it? The Jesus piece
Yes.
show, right?
Yes.
Like, that was chaos
Ca-
incarnate,
abs-
right?
But the kids ate it up.
the kids
The
were
fucking
into it.
and the band was asking for it. I mean,
Yep,
they're throwing
yep.
around a football. I mean, it was insane. But I loved it. I loved seeing just I'm not that old, but nonetheless, as an old man, just kind of going, all right, the kids are all right, man. This
Yeah,
music
yeah.
will continue to survive because
Yeah.
look how much fun these guys are having.
And you can rest assured that old man Aaron and old man Nick were on the
You're
sidelines,
goddamn right.
sitting down with our Earl Grey tea.
Cheerio, my friends. Yes, yes. Carry on.
Carry on,
Very
carry
good,
on.
very good.
It's all a good show. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like Aaron's been saying, like we've been saying, just be cool with each other and it'll be all right. It's going to be, and it'll still be fun.
Yeah.
Just make it fun because we're there to, maybe not us, but maybe somebody younger than us is saving up, right? Like, always consider this.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
maybe somebody after us is going to come into this and try to take it somewhere bigger and better.
Sure.
And if we're not making it somewhat welcoming to them,
Yeah.
then, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We can't complain then.
No.
Right? Like, everything that we lose, we deserved to lose.
100%. 100. Great points.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, did you have anything
No,
else,
that
or-
was it. Those
All
were
right,
mine.
yeah.
I love your additions. Yeah. That was,
so all that. Be cool. And what have you been watching?
a lot of reruns for the most part, but I
Okay.
did watch some new stuff too. I'll start with my reruns, inspired by your run of Predator movies. I
Hell
watched Prey again.
Hell yeah.
Again, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So fantastic. I love the way they do it. It's such a nice little twist on it. Another one that I watched, I hadn't seen it in a long time. I forgot how good 1917.
I've never seen that movie. I actually want to see it.
It's really, really well done. The first time I saw it, I went, I get it. But the more I watch it, the more I really, really enjoy it. It's just, obviously the thing about it is made to look like it's one shot through the whole,
Which
unedited, even though it isn't. But
it is edited.
oh,
right?
but it's amazing. I mean, it really does feel like you're just watching one continuous event from the moment it starts. And it's a great story. All
I
the way
got a
around.
question
Please,
regarding
please,
that.
please.
Does that make the movie better? Or is it just more stylistic?
It's a style. I don't like. If I found out tomorrow that it wasn't true, I wouldn't hurt the movie to me.
Okay.
But it does. I think because of what the movie is about,
Yeah.
it helps with the pacing.
Okay.
So it does feel like I have got to keep moving.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because the camera feels like it's constantly moving. You're never really sitting around. There are moments, obviously, that it does, but for the most part, because it feels like this one continuous shot, like you get it. This kid is on a mission. He has got to get a message to troops ahead of him, spoiler alert, that are ahead of him that are, quite frankly, running into a trap.
Right.
And if they attack, they will die. They're going to be, the Nazis will wipe them out. And if this message doesn't get to them, so you understand the gravity of it, and you feel the gravity of that. And then it also loans itself to these amazing shots. He's running down. This is World War I, so it's trench warfare. So he's running atop the trench as guys are coming up over it, and bombs are going off, but he's running towards you the entire time.
Gotcha.
You know, I mean, I'm with you. There are certain movies where you're like, this is more about the trick than it is the movie.
Yes.
I do not feel like that movie is that. Not for me. I very much dig it.
Because I know there have been a lot more experimentation with the whole one-shot
Oh,
thing,
for sure.
right?
Yes.
And I mean, I'm not going to say I get it, but when it's used sparingly and more tastefully, I'll say.
The famous Goodfellas.
Goodfellas,
Going
Old
through
Boy.
yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mentioned it to you last time.
Yeah.
Daredevil,
Yes.
the Punisher scene in the hallway. When stuff like that, for me anyway.
I got you. No.
When it pops up in something that's obviously edited to the nth degree, it hits more, right? Like, it's just like, oh, shit, I didn't know that was all one take, because it was amazing and none of the action stopped. The storyline doesn't drag.
I hear you.
It doesn't affect the movie
No.
or the episode one way or another, but it's such a good selection to include there that it broke up everything before and after. Right?
I think that right there is a good point. It breaks stuff up.
Yeah.
This movie isn't trying to break anything up.
Okay.
The thing is a single mission.
Gotcha.
It needs to go. I have handed you this. I need you to get there.
Yeah.
And time is of the essence.
Okay.
So the immediacy of it all lends itself to this idea that I do need it to be. And again, there are moments that stop.
Yeah.
It's not. He's not literally constantly on the move, but it's the continuous shots of watching things like running from a certain individuals as he gets to a bridge and realizes, I've got no other choice. I've got to jump into this river. And he does. Then you see him go down, and then now he's floating down that river. Now they're shooting at him, and he's got to, you know what I mean? And it's it's just constantly go, go, go. And you feel the kind of, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Where, like, yourself.
So it adds to the tension, kind of?
Definitely that. I would definitely say that. Like I said, whether I knew it or not wouldn't affect me, but knowing that they also did that with the intention of, again, Sam Mendes, I believe, is the director. I don't think this is something he does on all films or something he even wants to do on all films.
Yeah.
I think he saw that it would work with this type of movie that he was trying to tell.
Okay.
All right.
All
But yeah, I really.
All right.
and
it's been on my list, that one. But,
again, it's one of those ones. I put it up there with Dunkirk. Obviously, different war, but where the first time I saw it, I went, eh. And then every time I've ever watched it after, I go, I'm liking it more and more.
Okay.
All
right.
Kind of in that whole trifecta of war, because Fury, I watched that.
Oh, yeah.
That's becoming a movie now where I'm like, Aaron, you got to pick something else. Like, that's starting to become my Michael Clayton Heat to Town, where I'm like, you got to pick something else, dude. I just really, really love watching that movie a lot. And
Fury's the Brad Pitt one?
Brad Pitt, the tank. Yeah, fucking great. World War II. Done by the guy who did Hard Times and unfortunately also directed the first Suicide Squad.
He gets a bad rap as a director.
I think when Suicide Squad got all its shit, and deservedly so, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Number one, taken away from him, also edited to, they will try to make it more funny than as gritty as he wanted it to.
Yep.
I didn't know who directed it one way or the other. And when I found out who directed it, I was like, wait, I think I know that guy, right?
David something.
Something like that. And I went and looked up his IMDb. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, Training Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
This guy, dude, he's either written or directed some really interesting and good films.
End of Watch. Yeah.
Like, dude, kiss. So it's like, okay, those are those times, as I like to use him as the example. It's kind of like the Twilight kids.
Yeah.
They all left Twilight, and two of them have a career, and one of them doesn't. And you go, okay, then it wasn't about they couldn't act. They were given shitty stuff to say.
Yes. Yeah.
And when put in the right projects, it's clear. So when this guy has control and can make a project, he can clearly make something that is fantastic. And with Suicide Squad taken away from him, and then he loses everything. It's like, really? Like, that wasn't even his fault.
He's been on Twitter. He's been arguing that the studio, Warner Brothers, I guess it is, have a cut of the movie.
I've heard this.
Like
Yes,
his cut of the movie.
yes.
Which he says like there's more character exploration.
Yes,
It's a way more serious movie, which would
Yeah.
be fucking great to see.
it would.
Because I did like Suicide Squad. It was goofy, but I liked the character choices.
yeah,
And I'll
there are
even-
moments I did enjoy. You're right. Yeah.
There's one
It's just
scene.
it is a flawed movie.
It is. There's one scene where I'll even forgive Jared Leto
Mhm.
as the Joker,
Yeah.
where he and Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie,
Mhm.
Rocha, who unfortunately we had to split up. But
It's
where
her
they're-
loss. It's her loss.
well, believe me, I also lost there. But I gained with my beautiful
There
wife.
you go.
Amy.
There you go.
Where they're both dancing, and it's a scene where he's dressed like in a tuxedo,
Oh yeah. Mhm.
slick back hair, and she's wearing the actual Harley Quinn outfit.
Right.
That's taken out of the comic books.
Right,
Like,
right.
that's a scene right out of the comic book. So when I saw that on the in the trailer,
I hear you.
my heart jumped for joy.
I hear you.
But then I saw the movie around it,
Yeah.
and it betrayed me and jumped out of my body and killed me. Right?
Well, and I think when you see what is ostensibly the remake,
yes, yeah,
that they hands off and let him just do his thing,
Yeah.
you go, okay, well then it's very clear why that movie failed.
yeah, yeah.
So I love Fury, but
Fury's a great movie.
I really and then the third one in my war movie, I feel like I watched, so 1917's World War One, Fury's World War II, and I feel like this is probably going to be our World War III is Elysium.
Oh yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
So good. It feels sadly prescient at this time. But, I just, Matt Damon's always good in a lot of things, but I love when he's just a badass in this kind of thing. It's, I also love the Brazilian guy that plays the computer. He's for now, Vildar or something or other. He's actually was in Narcos and everything else.
Yeah.
He plays the computer guy that kind of, is going to get him up there. Plus seeing the dude from the South African guy playing the bad dude that was also in District 9.
District 9 guy,
Which is
Chappie and all
Dude,
that.
District 9, underrated movie.
District
But
9 is so good.
It's really, really good. And seeing him as a bad guy, I love it. Seeing Jodie Foster as a bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. She's ruthless in that movie,
Elysium is a great movie.
It's so good,
Yeah.
man. And, I can't wait till the president gives us all our med beds. Anyway. Let me see. I went through the Lord of the Rings trilogy, extended
nice.
versions only, because, well, I don't have to explain myself. And if I do, go ahead and turn the podcast off. We're done here.
Now, did you go see this in the theater?
I did
'Cause-
not, as much as
Okay.
we talked about it as a family, but we just never got around to doing it. I did see the last two in the theaters. Well, no, obviously not the extended versions, but I did see the last two in the theaters
Originally.
when they
Okay,
came
yeah.
out. So I did get at least somewhat of that experience.
All right,
Although
cool.
then again, Jesus criminy, I don't know if I could sit in a theater that long either.
You'd be surprised what I can do with a bucket of popcorn.
I
and a big old Diet
I
Coke.
know what you can do with a bucket.
Cut a hole at the bottom of it.
Some newer things that I watched. One, I'd been looking forward to it. Judd Apatow has been doing quite a bit of like documentary style stuff on HBO. He did one about Mel Brooks, 99-year-old man. Ugh, amazing. I mean, we did our top 10 comedy directors. He's my number one.
Mhm.
In some ways, all senses of humor almost go back to him to some degree. Certainly
Yeah.
modern senses of humor.
Yeah.
Any comedy and so on. I mean, like Ben Stiller was like, I don't know what it would be like to write a comedy without knowing who Mel Brooks was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like, yeah, exactly. And it was just very interesting to see his life. And I didn't realize how many lulls there actually were. That he got so famous and these things happened, and then all of a sudden it was like he's out of work forever.
Yeah.
And it's like being essentially Anne Bancroft, his wife, kind of takes care of him for a long time.
Yeah.
It's just, but she loves him, believes in him, and really believes like something's going to come along.
Yeah.
A great interview for especially people like yourself, others. I would recommend it. Is they have moments where he's talking about his relationship with David Lynch and David Lynch directing
hell
Elephant
yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
and how indebted to Mel Brooks he is that he gave him that chance to do so.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was really cool. And just again the odd bedfellows.
Bedfellows,
of the two of them. Yet Mel Brooks seeing Eraserhead and going, "This kid's a genius. I love this.
Yeah.
Let's get this kid. I want him to direct this movie." You know what I mean? And you would never think Mel Brooks would. Let's see what else. Saw the new Naked Gun.
Oh, we watched maybe 1/3 of this.
Yeah.
It's
I love me some Liam Neeson, and God knows I love some Naked Gun.
yeah. No,
Listen, man, you don't mess with perfection.
you don't. Honestly, you don't, because they could have still done the whole Frank Drebin's son,
Sure.
but Liam Neeson does not have the delivery
He
that
he really
Leslie
does.
Nielsen has
No.
or had. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blame the other actors in the movie. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Pamela Anderson, I'm
Yeah.
sure she tried her best.
And look, she's there to be the femme fatale, and to be honest, she wasn't horrible in it.
Right.
No, nobody was
Right.
bad in it.
Nobody's bad in it.
It just
but
you saw every joke coming. You knew all the ways this was going to go.
Everything was telegraphed.
Yeah,
Everything was telegraphed in.
I don't know. It just feels like those are moments in time, and look, you and I certainly know with each other how sacred those first, especially those first two, let alone all three.
Yeah.
And it's just like those are sacred texts, man. If you're gonna redo this, you gotta fucking bring it, dude.
Yep.
And it just and listen, I get it. It's produced by the guy who does Family Guy. It's directed by one of the guys that's in Lonely Island. Like, I'm sure they are nothing but fans. This is nothing but reverence for them. It just, again, him being a Girl Scout with a sucker. Like, what are we doing? I don't. Like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, in some ways, the Naked Gun, the silliness and the simplicity of it all is what's so great about it. It's the lines. It's not, you know what I mean? And
it's not the situation.
Right.
It's how you kind of deadpan react to everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
His fourth wall breaking, it's like, take a look in the microscope. He goes, I'm not seeing anything. Use your other eye, Frank. And he looks up and one eye's blinked, and that's he's using the one that he closed. It's stuff like that. It's just like, you can't, and you're right. I mean, R.I.P. to Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah,
I mean,
one of the greatest
all time. I mean, his just ability to be so deadpan and believe everything he's doing is what a person would be doing, so that we don't know that he, that's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
Couple other new ones I saw. I saw The Smashing Machine. This is the one with The Rock.
Yep.
I will be 100. I thought The Rock was amazing in it. I like it, really, really good. Like, look, this feels like, as you were asking about 1917, is the trick of a one shot what this movie's really about, or are we watching a good movie?
Right.
This is what this felt like. Like, The Rock wants to spread his wings, show everybody that he really can act, and I don't have a problem with that. I get that. Lots of people pick stuff for that. Emily Blunt, also amazing in it.
She's amazing.
She's a great actress in general. But the movie is shot in a way. Although in fact, I read there are some that are literally shot for shot a documentary called The Smashing Machine. What I'm watching, it felt like there was really no narrative. Like, I didn't know where we were. Like, what? Oh, it's his addiction. Is it his addiction?
Right.
Or is it that he lost the match? Is it her addiction?
Yeah.
Is she going through addiction? Is it their relationship? What am I watching here? What's going on here? Like, I understand fly on the wall shit, but the fly still wants to see something fucking happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
sure. Yeah.
And I don't know. This is the first. I think the first one with the Safdie brother, which I guess I don't know if you know, they're broken up apparently.
The brothers?
Yeah, they no longer work together. Yeah, I learned this. Yeah, apparently they no longer work together.
Ben and Josh?
I think something
or
like
Joe
that.
Something with a J? I think?
Yes. The one that's the actor for the most part is the one that directed this one. He's the one that was in Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
and
Ben
all that.
Safdie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, again, as a movie, whatever. As performances, I got to hand it to The Rock, man. Wow. He really, like, he embodied that guy. The makeup is scary, where you're just like, wow. Not a twin. He even I saw him in an interview talking about that they talked about that. It's like they had many different versions of how they were going to apply the makeup and what they were going to do. And at some point, the director was like, I still want to see you. I need to see you emote. Even if you look less like Mark Kerr, then so be it.
Right.
And they found a wonderful balance that, honestly, you put the dude, at the end of the movie, you actually see Mark Kerr. He's like walking out of a supermarket, Mark Kerr now. And, looks very different because he's lost a lot of weight because he's not as, as big.
He's not as big, yeah.
But you do, once you put them side to side, you can obviously tell the difference.
So
but
now,
please.
In this movie, did Rock lose muscle mass?
No, actually, yes and no. It did say what if I am remembering correctly and I understood what I read, which let's be honest, that's crapshoot unto itself. What I think they were saying is technically he did lose weight, but put on more, but also kept a lot of muscle because Mark Kerr wasn't the same muscle mass that he was,
Right,
and needed
yeah.
to, and more importantly, he needed to be leaner
Okay.
because he was a fighter as Mark Kerr.
Because there was something around that apparently. I mean,
Yeah.
I know Rock fucking. What's it called? The Iron. His like gym that he.
Yes. Yeah.
He always touts that, right?
Right.
Like, which cool.
Yeah.
That's great and all, but also The Rock is not maybe the cleanest
I would-
bodybuilder.
I'd
right?
be surprised at his age that he hasn't dabbled in something. Now,
Yeah.
he is. So I will say, in case this is where you're going, because this is what I read,
Yeah.
is a lot of people now see that he has lost a lot of weight.
Right. Yeah.
And the people are like, oh, yeah, he's not doing steroids. Or then the other people, of course, oh, it's a controversy. The lizard people have given him cancer or whatever. No. What I read was, this is not the Smashing Machine. For the Smashing Machine, he did lose some weight, but got leaner to be it.
Yeah.
He actually lost more weight to do another film that will be coming out, I think, next year, in which he plays a 70-year-old man. And he was saying, I can't look like Fast and Furious 9 and play a 70-year-old man. And it's like, well, you're already playing a 60-year-old man.
Yeah, I mean,
but I get it. Look, I don't really have a problem with that to some degree. Like, they're not athletes. Is it any different getting boobs slapped on or facial work? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to do look, the guy playing Wolverine is not. You can't tell me he's not doing something.
Oh yeah, I mean all those guys, and there's a reason.
You're playing a character.
Yeah, and I get it, but even without the necessity of playing a character, it was kind of known that Rock was doing either HGH or steroids. So I know he was doing the other role. I didn't know it was for a 70-year-old.
That's what I had read, something to that effect, that he's playing an older man. So it's this idea that obviously he can't go in looking like the Rock. He has to look like the Pebble, not the Rock. So whether he puts that back on, I don't know. But I'm about to get to him with one of the next movies. But Batista, as we know, he's also dropped a lot.
But he also stopped working out.
Yes,
as intense
Absolutely.
as he used to.
Yes,
right?
no, and again, I'm not going. If I'm going to throw darts at certain people, I got. Let's be honest.
Sure.
The WWE has never been one that is clean.
Oh, of course.
So
of course,
I have to some degree, assume all those guys in there probably have dabbled in a little something.
A lot of them have.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
So it is to say that yes. I agree. I mean, and again, I think what I'm bothered by is more the part where they try to pretend they don't. When it's like, listen, you're not an athlete. You're not competing in the Super Bowl here. Nobody gives a shit. You're not cheating.
When Hogan said, "Drink your milk and eat your vitamins,"
well, the vitamins that he was taking,
those came in shots in your.
They weren't coming from the Flintstones, that's for sure. Vitamin C wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
The other one I saw, the last one one of those ones, again, kind of like when we talked about The Rip. One of those ones I didn't go into a lot with a whole lot of caring one way or the other. I knew it would be entertaining, but actually turned out to be better than I thought it was. In fact, got a 76 I saw on Rotten Tomatoes, which I thought, wow, just because of what the movie is. It's called The Wrecking Crew. It's got Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista.
Oh, I want to see this one. Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Dude, the balance of action, the comedy, and then there's even a couple times it gets a little touching.
Nice.
The idea is their father, Jason Momoa, is the half brother of Batista. Because they look exactly alike.
Yeah.
But living on Hawaii, Batista is a Naval SEAL trainer. While Momoa has left Hawaii because they don't speak, and the dad cheated on his mom, and that's how Momoa came about. He lives on a Native American. Where do we sadly put them?
Reservation?
On a reservation. He's a cop on a reservation.
Okay.
Their father dies. Momoa thinks his father's been killed. He thinks something else is up. So now they go to investigate it. The other part that I was definitely surprised by, I knew there'd be action. I knew there'd be some ass kicking. Dude, there's some scenes where even John Wick would go, I think that was a little much, guys. Like, wow. I mean, you could have just shot him.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
which I did not see coming in a movie, something that Amazon would, when you watch the advertisements, they put a little funniness in it. Oh, I can't think of that guy's name. Great character actor. He's the guy. He took my stapler, and he's been in a million things.
Yeah.
He plays the cop, and there's that great part, and they showed in the previews. He's like, I can't have two guys who look like they eat steroid pancakes destroying my city. You know, so it's just like they have all that going on, and I just thought, wow, man, they really balanced it. Fun movie. It again. Like a better version of the thing we like to talk about, back in the day, HBO would put on Friday nights these, kind of B film action films where it was just like kicking ass, taking names, and it really felt like that, but actually with a pretty big budget. And I have to say, I get the sense, I hope it's true, it feels like maybe they're kind of leaving this open for another one. I think their chemistry was great. I thought they really played off each other. And I love when they kind of create this thing and see if it'll, it's the buddy cop movie. It's always, you know what I mean, that kind of thing, 48 Hours, Lethal Weapon starts it all, and everybody's kind of done it from there, but I would recommend it. Good time had by all. Jesus, like I said, Rotten Tomatoes, for whatever you put into that, I put very little, but still, for them to have 76, wow.
Yeah,
I was shocked.
I almost never.
No,
really.
I just happened to see it and was like, wait, am I reading that right?
Yeah.
But yeah, most critics I was reading were like, yeah, this is great, really fun, and I was like, wow,
nice.
I have to. This feels like exactly what critics would want to shit on. You know what I mean? So that was the last one that I saw. How about yourself? What have you been watching?
2 newer things,
please,
and a couple of repeats.
Right on.
Newer, one of them you mentioned already was The Rip.
Oh, right on.
Which fucking amazing movie. I love this movie.
So much fun.
At one point, the guy that we thought was going to be the hero ends up being like one of the bad guys, right? And he's getting beat up in the swamp by Matt Damon. And at one point, Amy and I watched this, and she's like, early on in the movie, she says, I hate Matt Damon because he's so likable, but he's playing another fucking cop that's crooked, right? And then then we don't know whether Ben Affleck is the fucking weird one. And as it's playing out, it's like, oh no, wait, what? Right? So the whole movie, we were just like, we have to know what happened. And the payoff is incredibly satisfying.
Yeah,
it's
really
satisfying.
is. It really is. Like I said, I thought it's like a cop procedural that goes into a murder mystery that goes into an action film.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun, and it's just like, like I said, these remind me of those great action movies we used to watch all of that. It felt like Hollywood was just shitting them out one by one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yes, some were better than others, and some were like, my God. You know what I mean? Like, you knew you were going to see some kick-ass stuff if you saw, heard the word Dudikoff or Cynthia Rothrock.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, you knew the movie wasn't going to be great. You just knew you were going to see some kick-ass action. But then there was always the upgraded ones, you know what I mean? That you're like, oh, okay, this one, this one's got the ex-football player in it. This should be good. You know what I mean?
Speaking of,
please,
that movie, I know what you're thinking about. Stone Cold.
Yes.
With
Brian Bosworth.
Brian Bosworth is getting a Bluray release.
Oh,
this
good
year.
God.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
Lance Hendrickson in that one, too.
Lance Hendrickson, he plays one of the biker guys.
Yeah, he does. He's the leader guy. Puts the guy's hand into the wheel while it's turning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, Bosworth jumps a motorcycle out of a wall into a helicopter. Real life shit.
As one does.
Well, I mean, he did play linebacker, so I'm sure he can do all that stuff.
He actually, way back in the day, I would have pegged him to be Captain America.
Listen,
like if we were going off of just physique.
Oh yeah,
alone,
no. He's an interesting character all the way around. I mean, that guy. ESPN did like a 30 for 30 on him.
Yeah,
he's a podcast unto himself. He's one of the guys that really, for good or for bad, depending on how you look at it, really did change sports in sports media, certainly in a way, despite his very fledgling career. But Stone Cold, man. Well, I haven't thought about that in a while. So. Please, your next one.
So the other one was a short series. Hopefully, it's only one season.
Yes.
It's called His and Hers.
Oh, good God.
Did you see this?
I did. I was trying to forget it.
All right, man. I know normally we talk about shit we like. But this one is going to be a detour. This was the worst fucking payoff in a series.
Yeah.
Now,
let me ask you this before you start. This is why I picked it, because I looked at that cast and went, I love it. These are great people. Like this
Yeah.
should be good.
Yeah.
She's a great actress. I loved her on now I can't Westworld.
Westworld. Tiana Taylor.
Yeah, Tiana Taylor. She's a
Yeah.
great actress. She was great in the in the Marvel movies and everything else.
Yeah.
And then he sometimes he says some shit that makes me think he's a knucklehead, but I do like that dude. Of course now I can't think of his name.
I'm forgetting his name.
You know, Fury and all the Punisher and everything else.
Oh,
So-
John Bernthal.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I like him. You tell me he's in a movie,
Same.
I'm probably going
Same.
to check it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's part of the reason. I don't know for you, but that's why, because I was hearing about it, and that you know how Netflix does it. Like, hey, I think you'll like this.
Right.
So I was like, man, there's some good people in it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's okay. So we watched episode 1,
Uh-huh.
and I had a little bit of trouble following it because she's coming back from a long absence.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I
And-
got no. I got
and
you.
we're kind of dropped into the story, maybe a couple of steps into it already.
Purposely so.
Right.
They're always
right.
trying to keep you on your toes and not really
sure.
know. And yeah.
Yeah. So then it plays out, and again, spoilers,
Yes,
whatever.
absolutely, yeah.
At this point, I don't.
Well, the spoiler is it's a piece of shit.
the
how about that?
yeah, the spoilers. It's not
Yeah.
good.
Don't
right?
bother.
Yeah. So if they had ended it one episode before,
Yeah.
like if the 6th episode was never a thing,
Yeah.
I would have been okay. I would have been fine because she reads the note and it almost reads like she's the one,
Which
but
again they are well, they are doing on purpose.
yeah.
Like,
But then they do the
Please.
switch.
yes.
When they did that, I both Amy and I
Yeah,
were
no,
like,
I-
what the fuck?
Well, we started watching it.
Yeah.
The wife went to bed.
Okay. Yeah.
If I'm being 100, I think I missed episode 3 and 4 for the most part by sleeping through most of it,
Hell yeah.
and yet picked up
You still
on
knew where you
5,
were.
and yeah, I didn't feel lost.
yeah. Yeah.
It's weird because I again, because I'm like, Tiana Taylor is a very good actress.
Yeah.
Why would she do this? So
I
I
mean-
went on IMDb just to see some fun facts.
Sure.
Well, it had stuff interviews with her. She said one of the things that she loved about the script and everything else, which is in there.
Yeah.
And she's absolutely right. And that's the thing. The one redeeming quality I will take from it, though I don't think it was executed well, is, and we kind of talked about this in our subject, is narratives are always given from our perspective only. We can tell the story however we want to tell the story.
Sure.
And I think they were present because it was so heavy-handed that he killed her. And you're like, no, he didn't. I
Yeah.
know he didn't
Yep.
because you want me so badly
To
to
dislike him.
believe that he killed her.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I definitely know. So now that mystery's gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then even her, you're like, well, I don't buy that either. You know what I mean? So now you're going with the Pablo guy, who's the husband of the blonde.
Right.
You know? And then there's the whole like idea of like, but I love like things that I redeem from it. Like, we're told the story of what happens in those woods incrementally.
Sure.
And then we find out at the very end, she's been lying about that story to everyone to not hurt her husband's feelings about his sister
Yep.
being one of the girls to do it.
Yeah.
And I get that. I think that's good because
That's the part.
those
I
are
liked.
parts I go, okay, I get this. We're look how we tell stories to each other to protect each other or protect ourselves.
Sure.
The things we do. I love that his partner the entire time he is just trying to bullshit her. Like, great scene when he's on the phone with her and talking to her, and she's like, yeah, okay, boss, I'll take care of it. And then she goes into that room and all those things, it's that craziness where the yarn is connecting everything together. Kind of.
Oh, yes, yeah,
And she walks away, and in the middle of all of it is a picture of him because she's like, I already know it's you motherfucker.
Yep,
And you're
yep.
trying to. I love that stuff, but all the execution around it was just fucking stupid.
Yes. Yes.
Like it was
Agreed.
almost like watching two actors doing soap opera type acting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it felt even like a soap opera especially like the ending where you're just like, wait, the mom did all this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh my
That's the part where,
God.
again, if they had stopped and just ended on,
yeah.
this is how we treat each other, where we lie to each other
Mm.
to protect each other. If that was the
Yes,
message,
Yes.
beautiful.
I agree.
And I would have even forgiven the somewhat
yeah.
shitty acting in some places.
I hear
you know,
I hear you.
I did like Priya Patel's character. Like
Yes.
that, she
I thought
was fucking amazing.
No doubt. No
right?
doubt.
But again, if that's where they had ended it,
Yeah.
but then when they kept going
Yeah.
and then they go visit the mom,
Yeah.
she reads the note,
Right.
and then the mom looks over and she's like, "I know what you're."
Which is an only movie thing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
she's staring at her daughter while she's supposed to be playing with her granddaughter
Yeah.
and her son-in-law, who would at some point go, "Hello, what
Yeah.
what are you
Yeah.
fucking staring
Hey,
at?"
hey, by the way, I'm
over,
right here.
Over here.
Yeah.
Well, she really is senile. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's and by the way, like I said, this is one of those ones where you're absolutely very bad. And I just it's shameful because you just go, you guys can do better. I know you guys. I've
Yeah.
seen you do better.
I don't know if this is part of Netflix's Netflix Eye, I don't know, their attempt to make like background viewing.
Well, The Rip got some of that.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
I don't know if you saw. I
I
saw
did.
experts little excerpts of it from Damon and Affleck talking about the fact that my son is absolutely convinced about it. I was like, whatever. It's doing the whole like, it's a rip, man. We got to do the rip. They say it a million times.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I didn't feel like it took away from it, and they're using cop jargon that they would. That's how they refer to this. This is a
Sure.
rip.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what it reminds me of a little bit that you say this background thing. You're right. That might be a topic to talk about just in general.
Yeah.
But there's mainly because I watch it every year. But remember the movie Scrooged, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember when his boss comes in and says, "Do you know how many cats are watching TV right now?" And he's like,
Oh,
"We should
yes.
put, playing with a little piece of yarn, or a little mouse runs across the screen."
Yep.
I feel like, oh my God, we've become the cat now.
Yeah.
They're just going to be on in the background which, by the way, movies that I've seen before, shows that I've seen before, yeah, I can put Seinfeld on in the background. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
But anything I'm watching, who are these people?
It's got my 100%
yeah.
undivided attention.
Well, especially if I actually want to watch the damn thing.
Which
I know I just said I slept through 3 episodes, so clearly, but again, I blame that more on old age and a shitty show. It's just to say, you know what I mean? Like, yes, when I'm watching Fury, there's no moment, no matter how many times I watch it, where I'm like, oh, I gotta get on my phone and see what's on Instagram. I might go to IMDb to look up a fact or go, who is that actor? I know I've seen him somewhere, but yeah, man, it's just, and then isn't that interesting? Both of those are Netflix projects to an extent.
Those, yeah.
And yet, and again, there's no accounting for taste because, by the way, if you went on IMDb, more than a few people were like, "This is fantastic. This is top-notch
His
television."
and hers. See, I know I just totally said that I don't
Please.
pay attention to the IMDb or
No,
the Rotten
yeah.
Tomatoes, but Amy does. Like, she, not that she pays attention,
no,
but she'll read it.
It
off
is
to me
interesting to
just
see.
so we know,
Yeah,
right?
what are other people thinking?
Apparently, his and hers got like a 94.
Yeah, yeah, believe me.
What?
Yeah, I believe those are one of those ones where I'm Will Ferrell. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like yeah. And again, listen. Some are for his, some are for hers. I don't know what to tell you. Fine. To each their own. I'm just telling you my perspective. I'm not surprised you feel the same way, and I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Because I just, what a letdown.
It sucked. But that leads me
Please.
to watching a couple of repeats that
Nice.
I know when they come on, 100% I'm fully in there.
Right on.
One of them was The Professional, which a great fucking movie.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I know there are situations in the movie that are obviously questionable at this point. Right?
Certainly, yes.
And even the director is kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
But we can't forget that is one hell of an acting job, not just by Natalie Portman, but by Jean Reno.
Yes. And then, of course.
And then the fucking ever classy Gary Oldman as the insane cop.
Yes.
Right.
And as everyone points out, the R is holding a lot of weight in that name if you ever Google it.
The R?
In Gary. Because if you forget the R.
Oh, yeah.
It's doing a lot of lifting to make sure that you do not go to the wrong website in case, for certain people.
I
other people may not mind. I'm just saying. Just be sure you put the R in there, or you're going to be very upset. Probably.
Yeah, I mean.
Then again, maybe not.
I've missed the R on purpose a couple of times. I don't mind.
It's also by the way, if you get caught, you can also just say, "Hey, I was actually looking up Gary Oldman."
I'm into cinema.
Right. I don't know what happened here. I must have forgot the R. Yeah, that's it. Anyway,
that movie is
amazing.
Fucking amazing movie. The build up to the end with everything kind of crashing down on I forget his name in the movie.
I think that probably was my introduction to him too, Gary Oldman.
Okay,
I think it might have been
Gary Oldman.
I believe so. I can't say 100%, but I think so.
It wasn't anything before that. Because what year was that?
I couldn't tell you. I do not know. Like if you're thinking like Bram Stoker's or Romeo's Bleeding, stuff like that, I did not see those at that time. So
okay.
Yeah, I don't know if those predated that one or not. Probably Bram Stoker's.
Bram Stoker's, I think, did. That might have been like 93, 94.
Okay, yeah. See, I again, I'm guessing here, but I feel like that was where it was like, who the fuck is this psycho dude? When he swallows the pill.
Yeah.
And then. Another thing just that I love about movies in general, the happy accidents. Everybody remembers the everybody.
Yeah.
Total done as a joke
to
piss off the director, and the director went, I love it. And now it is the thing everybody remembers from that fucking movie. I mean, it's a GIF.
Yep. There's another one.
Please.
I love Mozart.
Yes. Oh, dude. Like, that whole scene where they kill the family.
The family,
like,
yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
like
that's
brutal.
With the who's the mom in the tub?
Yes, the little she's a teenage girl, and that's just a little boy.
The little boy.
I mean, they don't show because they understand, but you're just like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah. That is brutal.
Fantastic film though,
and filmed in fucking France.
So there's two of them, technically, or is it always been Leon the Professional?
It's always been Leon. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
but they changed it when they brought it to America. Okay.
So it's the Professional and then Leon the Professional.
When they I love that movie. Yeah, it's fantastic. And yes, while questionable scenes, no doubt about it. Certainly ones we look back at and go, you got to hand it to Natalie for being that young. Like, you never get the sense that she's that young. I mean, she's so. Like, I don't mean that in the sense of like, oh, she's so mature that it makes it okay. No, what I mean is like, for her to be able to do that stuff just in general as young as she is, like, wow, dude.
Yeah.
Of course she has a bright future ahead of her.
And apparently Jean Reno like stepped in a couple of times to maybe guard her from
that's cool.
some, maybe
it's good to hear.
Some wrongdoing, not wrongdoing. I shouldn't say it like that. Maybe some
turning it more exploitive than it needed to be.
I think he's like, I read somewhere that he stepped in and kind of like took care of her. Both he and Gary Oldman kind of like watched after her.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's always good to hear because
especially at that time when it wasn't as well publicized.
Publicized, documented.
Yeah, you didn't have somebody on set that would take care of that sort of thing.
Right, yeah.
Because those scenes are very uncomfortable, but
even back then, like I remember when I first watched the movie, and I remember seeing it in a theater. I was just like, God damn.
I think the only thing for me that I kind of like go with it is because you see how uncomfortable Leon is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, definitely.
It's not like he's licking his lips.
Right.
He's also like, I know she doesn't get what she's doing, but I get it, and this is really weird. It should stop.
Yeah,
she just wants to be Madonna. Look at me. I'm doing
right.
But again, amazing performances. Great fucking film.
Yeah.
That's the guy who goes on and does the Fifth Element, right?
Fifth Element. Yeah.
Again, he's got a pretty good streak in him.
Luc Besson.
There it is. Thank you very much. Yeah, fantastic film.
Yeah. That one's really good. I'm sorry. Such a loss for names. Harrison Ford's The Criminal movie.
Oh, he's the criminal?
Yeah.
The Fugitive.
The Fugitive.
Fucking great movie.
Man,
great movie.
Fucking dork I am.
Like, for a big Hollywood blockbuster, that thing is fucking so rewatchable, so well done, dude.
So jam-packed with everyone.
Oh,
everyone who's ever been in the movies in that movie, right? Like,
some of which at the time we didn't know were going to be in our lives forever after that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the lady from all the comedy movies.
Mm-hmm.
She ended up later being the new what's her name?
I'm trying to think.
From Hannibal.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I know who you mean, but
I am the worst. I forgot the name of the movie.
It's been so long. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones and Harrison Ford are the only two that keep coming to my mind. And Joe Pantoliano.
Joe Pants, yeah.
The guy who keeps it's Hinky. That guy he played Jay Leno in that Jay Leno biopic with Which you take the mustache off, you do start to that movie's so good. Even one of the cop who's like, don't give me your jurisdiction. He's the one that goes on to be in like Justified. You've seen him in a million things.
That's right.
Like every time you turn around, it's just another person like, oh, I'm going to see him in 2 more years.
I want to say, isn't Bill Murray's brother in it too? Someone?
No, but the guy who
One of the local cops.
No,
right?
the cop that swears that they must have died, and he's like, "Oh, there's
No.
shackles with nobody in it."
Not that guy.
'Cause that's-
not that guy.
okay.
I know he's been in a bunch of stuff, but I want to say one of the other cops, one of the white-haired cops, is also I want to say it's Bill Murray's brother.
The only one
older
I can think that looks somewhat like him is that guy. Otherwise, there's nobody that I can think of in there. I mean, we'll look when we're done here.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I the guy I think you're thinking of is the guy who swears that they must have all died, and then he goes, "Oh, look at that, shackles with nobody in them." It's always weird. How did he?
No,
get the,
I know which
How
one.
did he
I
get
know
the key?
That's
Okay,
the guy with the
okay.
big mustache.
Yeah, and we've seen him. He's another one where it's like I've seen that guy in 50 million things.
Yeah,
you know?
I want to say that cop, that
Mhm.
one that you're mentioning
Uh-huh.
there. I want to say he's been on Married with Children.
He might have been. Again, he's one of those guys. Again, I have no idea what his name is.
Yeah.
Seen him in 50. He usually plays somewhat around the same character every single time.
Yes.
He never usually plays a nice guy. You know?
Yeah,
He's usually
because
like a
also
shitty cop or something like that.
I think most of the filming in The Fugitive is Illinois based.
Yes, in fact, in Chicago. In fact, the
Chicago,
two
yeah.
cops that play the two lead detectives.
Yeah.
One is an actor. The other one was an actual detective for like 25 years in
wow.
in
Okay.
Chicago. Yeah. So he's the other one. He's got white hair. He's got no facial hair. He's kind of the lead guy. He does more of the talking because he's the actor. He's the actor, and then his sidekick is actually was a detective in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. No, great movie. I mean, and that was the resurgence of Tommy Lee Jones. That just turned his career right around.
He went right into U.S. Marshals.
Yeah, well, and
With
many
Wesley
other.
Snipes.
Well, he has that, and the famous, all the, I love it when Joe Pantley, what are you doing? He goes, I'm thinking. Yeah, why don't you think me up one of them donuts?
With the sprinkles.
He's so good in that movie.
Yeah.
And Harrison Ford. It's funny because he doesn't say much. Harrison Ford's very quiet in that movie.
Harrison Ford plays a role very much like Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, I mean, he
where
doesn't.
it's everyone else doing the acting.
Absolutely.
And he's just the
He's just emoting physically. It's
Yeah,
not. He
yeah.
doesn't really, But he has that great line too when the guy's just like, "Hey, you seen this guy?" And he goes, huh, "Every time I look in the mirror, pal."
Yeah.
Except for the beard, of course.
Yeah.
You're just like, dude, I love. Yeah. No, Fugitive, fantastic.
Yeah, that's
film.
a great fucking movie.
Love it.
And so because it was a star-studded cast, I
Mhm.
had to go into the next one, which I know is a rehearsal room favorite, Heat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, one day we need to just.
One
do
day
our-
we're going to just do.
We're gonna get reheated.
We're gonna reheat ourselves. In fact, there's a microwave somewhere over there, I think. Yeah, Heat is so good, and I know Amy's watched it with me, but we were sitting down watching it, and every time somebody new popped up, of course, as I'm sure you do.
Oh
this,
yeah.
Oh, that's the guy from here.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And she, she's just like, who's not in this movie?
And remember, when it came out, there was a lot of people who, a lot of people you did not know. Jeremy Piven wasn't necessarily Jeremy Piven.
Jeremy Piven.
You had to be kind of somebody who knows the guy in the wheelchair that tells him about the thing. Like
That's
if you,
Tom Mooney.
That's Tom Mooney. Like
Yeah.
you had to kind of know these things.
That's the guy from
now,
Manhunter.
right? Exactly, which is Michael Mann, the original.
Michael Mann, yeah,
so
yeah.
you had to kind of know those things at that time. So
Yep.
there was many of them that missed. Now, yes, you can go back and go like, wow,
Yeah,
did this do
yeah.
something for everybody's career? I mean, the great. What's his name? He owns the taco places now.
Danny
Machete.
Trejo?
Dude,
Yeah.
he was not even supposed to be in the movie.
Not at all.
He was
And his
just-
name is Trejo in
Yes.
the movie because they couldn't give him. They didn't know what name to give
Yeah,
him.
he's just there as a consultant, and they're like, fuck it. We
Yeah.
need somebody. All right.
Yeah, that's cool as shit.
Such
Yeah.
an amazing
I
film.
love that movie. Fucking Hank Azaria.
Dude, right.
Tone Loc.
Dude.
I don't know where a wild Tone
No,
Loc appears.
It is kind of strange, right? It's for a movie that's so eternal, there are those moments where there's a moment in time.
I also like that they're listening to that particular song.
Oh, yeah,
from
House
the
of Pain's in
Underground
there. Yeah,
Club.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know that House of Pain would be the band, but all right, let's go with that.
Sure.
Sure thing, Michael Mann.
Well,
let's
it's
go.
probably cheaper than trying to get some of the other songs. They couldn't wait to put their song.
That is true.
Cypress Hill
Yeah.
would have charged more. Yeah, Dr. Dre was like, I don't think
Cypress Hill had committed to Training Day
Right, exactly.
so far in advance. But yeah, he
Fantastic
is a
film.
fucking great movie. And obviously, it I don't know, inspired, but it affected the North Hollywood shootout. Which if you're not aware of that, go on YouTube and look up North Hollywood shootout.
It's
in the
like watching
mid-90s.
Heat for real.
In real life. Yeah.
Well, and then that, as everybody knows, it's one of the more famous things that come out of it. That shooting scene is so well done. Marines do show this to their recruits on how to do tactical combat when you were moving forward,
when
and
you're
you have
breaching and
when you have
stuff.
an enemy on front and back, and how to properly do it.
Yeah.
You know, like these guys, not just how to fire, like how to reload, how to do everything. Like he doesn't just reload the M16. Like I learned this when I was in the army. You have the button on the side of it. It's supposed to you hit
Eject
to
the
make
clip.
sure.
Yep.
Well, not to eject the clip. That what it does is make sure that the first bullet, make sure it goes in solidly.
Oh, right.
You know, and it's just like to watch him do that in such quick time.
Yeah.
Although you also, I heard there's some rumors that, and let's be honest, there's not much that I don't think Val could do. But a couple of the guys on set, including Val, really thought, like, I think if I was actually in combat, I think I could do this for real. Like, all right, let's calm down. You know?
What's his name? He's one of the Toms.
Sizemore.
He probably thought he could do
Oh,
it because, coming
For him,
from
it is the juice.
coming down from
a lot of cocaine.
well, not
Oh,
but
sorry.
from the other movie. Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
He probably like, I've
He's-
done this before.
And he's another one, like, he's great in both of those, too. He's really amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, he is kind of the badder of all those bad guys. When he grabs the little girl, you're
Yes,
like, oh,
yeah,
no, he needs to die.
Yeah,
You know?
he's done for
Yeah.
in that one. Yeah, so
Great
he
film.
was, one of the reruns that I kind of partook in because
Oh, if I may, because you did
Yeah.
remind me of great older movies. I forgot about that one especially, and I know that you saw this too. We lost an amazing actress in Catherine O'Hare.
Catherine O'Hara. Yeah,
I think she is vastly underrated in remembering all the amazing roles she played and all the things she did. And to me, the one I go back to every time is Best in Show. I did watch that. I just, I love that movie in general. And you just always remember how amazing she is in it, and all the, the diversity of roles. And I don't know how many people know this. My kids definitely were shocked. That, she's Sally in Nightmare Before Christmas, and does the singing.
Yeah,
she
does. Yeah,
she just, we lost a great one, and that inspired.
Delia Dietz.
Yeah.
In Beetlejuice.
There you go.
Which is
I mean, Home Alone. She's
Home
Kevin's
Alone,
mom.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's amazing. She's one of the great
she-
actresses of all time, and super duper talented.
The thing that I noticed with her passing too is that normally, I know we're at a point in time where we're very well past the point of sanctifying
Sure.
people who pass on.
Yeah.
She passes on, and a lot of the entertainment world, as far as like
Yeah.
TV and movies,
Yeah.
came out and said this was one of the best people ever.
Did you see Pedro Pascal? His thing.
Pedro,
Like, I mean, wow.
I saw his
Eugene Levy. That.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yes. Oh.
That one. I mean, he
Yeah.
chose the song "Mother" to
Yes.
do it with, but okay.
but nonetheless, I mean, just like,
no, it was very touching. It
Well,
was very sad.
I think it's
honestly.
beautiful when it once again these things kind of come together. Somebody that you've always loved and admired.
Yeah.
Sadly, they pass. But when you see the overarching outpouring of nothing but love, you realize I picked the right horse. You know what I mean? Like,
because it's much like when we go into this with like music and other type of stuff.
mm-hmm.
You want to know that what you're being entertained by is
there you
being
go.
made by good people.
Yeah.
And this was one of those
Yes,
good people.
absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
A little bit of trivia.
Please.
Did you know that her organs were opposite where they should be?
She's one of those. I did not know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, interesting. I think the other one that I remember hearing is, what's that fucking, him and his sister. I'm a little bit country. She's a little bit rock and roll. The Mormon family. You know,
the Osmonds.
Osmonds. I think
Yeah.
Donny Osmond is that.
No shit.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still alive or not, but I think his organs are. I did not know that about her. Interesting.
Yeah.
She's
And
amazing.
She's great.
She
Yeah,
really
yeah.
is, and you're absolutely right. It was overwhelming. I mean, stuff that Eugene Levy, especially who'd been working with her since SCTV, like almost 50 years, and
they were doing Shit Creek.
Yes, they had.
Right.
And
Not
then,
just a Zaster song.
no, and she, here's some inside baseball for you. She had also. She's recently working on a show, the one with on Apple with Seth Rogen, I think, right?
Oh yes,
The association or the network or
where he's like the head of the network.
the studio.
The studio.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. She actually didn't do season 2 because she was already having issues
Oh,
with
what?
her heart.
Oh,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
okay, all right.
So her role got cut back a bit. Yeah.
I didn't even know. Again, not something I have, so I didn't even know. But I saw Seth Rogen saying I'm working with her, and I thought working with. Oh, she's in
Yeah.
that show. Oh, man.
She is great. Yeah.
I mean, her little part in we were just saying Pedro. What was it? The one that Pedro did just recently, the zombies. The Last of Us.
Last of Us.
I thought she was, dude, again, and very dramatic. It wasn't very funny. It was very dry, very dramatic. Again, it's just like, it feels like there's nothing that woman couldn't do. She was super fucking talented.
The thing is, too, is that she was able to transcend genre.
Yes.
Like, where she is very famous for, obviously, The Nightmare Before Christmas, doing Sally's voice. She did a lot of voiceover work.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
But a lot of comedic work.
And even within that movie, she did 2 or 3 voices.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
So, and then for her to move into more serious roles and be able to just seamlessly be lost in the character, that, this is obviously we're going to get older, we're going to lose some of our favorites, but this is one that, like, even younger folks now, they can go back and look at, like, a movie like Beetlejuice and be like, oh man, that's, or Home Alone, and be like, damn, that's that lady, not just in how she's reciting the lines, but her mannerisms, her facial expressions, like she really a true performer.
There's no doubt, and I'm glad she's in movies that will be eternal, so that she will be
forever
eternal.
movies for sure. Yeah. So rest in peace, Catherine O'Hara.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
So.
That's all I was watching. You just reminded me. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah.
Anything else for you?
No, that was pretty much it. What have you been listening to?
So I continue with my, going back to old stuff, trying to stuff that I, have long neglected. The first one, we were just listening to it yesterday. I was telling you, as Ominous Black.
Oh, right.
The album is Repressed Memories of the Collective Subconscious.
All right.
Pretty heady shit, That's what I love about it. It's like, to me, the album is kind of like, I would describe it like if Pink Floyd played sludge and also loved black metal.
Okay.
Like it's very spacey. It is about, they have a part in there where guys talking about taking essentially like LSDs and stuff like that, and how it can expand your brain and help you and so on. So that's the main theme of it. And it's just, it's great riffs, great vocals, but then it gets real spacey, and the balance of all that. I hadn't heard that in so long, and then as soon as it came on, it was like, oh yeah, like an old friend, man. I was really excited for that. Another one, I felt sadly somewhat prescient with going on, but Metallica's Justice for All. I fucking love that record in general. Brought back a lot of great memories, but also felt once again like, wow, we were discussing this shit in '89, and we're still fucking discussing this.
We're still,
as if there's a discussion to be had,
right?
One that I went a little deeper on that I had always wanted to, Propane.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah,
like New York hardcore metalcore. Yes.
With Kirk from Crowbar, right?
No. This is the Crumbsuckers.
Oh, right.
So out of the Crumbsuckers,
Yeah.
I think mainly the main guy, the vocalist, guitarist, but might be one other guy, at least for the first album. There was something I saw on a Metal Maniacs a long time. It's their self-titled one, which is like, weirdly, their like 4th album. Normally it's your first. Yeah. Then they got lazy on the 4th one. They said, fuck it. But it's just, I really loved it because it's just fucking heavy riff after heavy riff.
Nice.
It's just a guy with a fucking man voice screaming at you, and it's just like very Neanderthalish in that way.
Yeah.
But I never bothered to check out anything more from them, and so I did this time around. Still the self-titled one because I love that one, and the other one I checked into was the Truth Hurts album. Fucking just that. If you love riffs, essentially their shtick is the aggression of hardcore with the riffage and kind of the heaviness of metal. They combine that just perfectly on those albums so far. I plan to go a little deeper.
Which is also now like an actual
genre
of
it's
hardcore, like the metalcore.
It
right?
really is. Like now again, it doesn't sound like a job for your cowboys and stuff like that necessarily, but you definitely, well, I guess they're more deathcore, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just like, it doesn't necessarily sound like that, but you get like, these are the beginnings of it right here.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like, you still, earlier albums, you do get more of that hardcore. Like their feet are firmly planted in both, and you get that sense when you're listening to it. And it was just cool to kind of finally go back and listen to the album I like, but also go, I want to hear some other ones. You know what I mean? Some other ones that I went back on, it's a 2-girl group. I believe they're sisters, almost from Sweden, called First Aid Kit. The Black and the Blue, folky country kind of stuff. Great vocals. I'm, as you know, I'm a sucker for harmonies in general. They're sisters, so they have that blood harmony going on that is just amazing. Songs are really great. Their writing is fantastic. Found them one of those ones by accident. Somebody posted it somewhere, and I was just kind of like, I'll try anything once. And they're like, oh my god! And this was now they probably got close to 6 albums at this point. This is their second one. Yeah, well, they actually came around. I found out first. They came to America the first time as backup singers for Florence and the Machine. So
shit.
yeah, you can see her on David Letterman performing, and the two of them in the back.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it was like, oh shit! And then they had already had an EP before that, and which I do like, and then this one. Now their sound is a little more pop sheen. They're adding more, which I get. Artists got to change. I want artists to grow. Just they grew out of what I liked about them, so I haven't really been paying attention to them lately. Another one, I'd only known this album. I'm actually trying to explore deeper in. Band called The Miserable Rich. 12 Ways to Count is the name of the album. I think they would call this kind of like chamber pop. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That very elegant sounding. Like there's no necessarily electric guitars, it's acoustic, but even that, it's a lot of violins, cellos. One song I actually seen on YouTube them performing live. He literally like has a music box and just like churns the key and it ding 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 ding. They're very British, very British. The accent, he does not try to disguise the accent.
Yeah,
I mean, not very British in the way the Sleaford Mods are necessarily, but British nonetheless, more proper British. It's just these quaint, beautiful little songs, some about love, some about his kid reading him a story. There's one that my wife absolutely loves where it's pretty much talking about the shitty work week and how I just waste my time to get to my time, which is Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
And just, I have this weird relationship sometimes with, especially with like indie music. I find certain albums and I really love them. And then when I explore outside those albums, nothing else of the artist does anything for me.
Yeah.
This one, so far so good, actually.
Nice.
That was one I found back in the days when you had chat rooms essentially at Facebook. One that I was a part of had this neat little thing. It was I always enjoyed where the object was you post a YouTube clip without at that time you couldn't see a picture or anything. It was just the thing. And then somebody else watches it, they rate it, and then they post something else, hopefully something different. And, so everybody kind of explores. That's where
cool.
I found it. Some guy posted it. I was like, Miserable Rich, what is this? The song off this album, Monkey. And as soon as I was like, this is fucking great. I love this, man. So, yeah, it was fun to go back and listen to those as older stuff.
Yeah.
New stuff, I came across some really cool shit. The first one, again, as I do, anytime I see a YouTube clip or one of those little the stories, and somebody's like, here's 5 albums I recommend. I'm in. You got my attention.
Yeah.
Although if the first one is shit, I usually will skip. But, if as long as it's interesting. And this guy, I think he did 5 of them. I listened to 2 of the 5, and the one that stuck it's called the Harlem River Drive, self-titled album. It's like Latin funk and jazz. Huh. Put out in the 70s. I was reading a little blurb about it. Apparently it didn't really hit when it came out, but it has since got a new life of its own. The songs are very much about the times of being a Latino, being a black person living in Harlem, and so on and so forth. They're protest songs to a degree, but also talking about how difficult it was to live in New York at that time. But musically, just, man,
nice.
These are, and I was reading like, oh yeah, no, he went and got like top-notch, musicians. Including the one that I definitely recognize. His last name's Purdy. He's a drummer. I mean, this guy, there's a thing called the Purdy Shuffle. Like, he invented that. This guy played in Motown. He played on Steely Dan albums. Like, this is the guy you go get if you want drums to be a certain way.
If you want it to sound pretty.
Exactly. Very pretty. He's amazing drummer. And, so they got kind of a who's who and put it all together. I recommend it. I sent it actually to Sam. The first thing that came to my mind, even though it's not exactly the same, but it had that feel, that 70s kind of raw feel, was Gil Scott-Heron. That's the first thing that came to my mind when I heard it. So I sent it to Sam because I knew he was a big fan. He was like, dude, this was awesome. Thank you. I almost thought, knowing Sam, he's probably fucking heard it. But no, turned out he didn't, and he absolutely loved it, which I'm always excited. It's one thing to give people, recommendations, but when you hear the, hey, I really liked it, you're like, all right, cool, so.
It's a good payoff.
It is. It feels good, you know what I mean? Because, we recommend each other a lot of great music, and as I've always said, I only have, 3 biggest fears in my life: death, speaking in public, and telling somebody I didn't like what they recommended to me. You know what I mean? I don't want to hurt feelings. I just do not,
No, I get it. Yeah.
The other one I found, interestingly enough, once of these, where you're like, these fucking computers really are listening at all times. As anybody, if you listen in order, our last episode was about supergroups. Well, apparently the internet was listening because I got 2 bands recommended to me that technically, one I guess is, everything I read says it is.
Yeah.
The other one, not so much a supergroup, but a guy from, a band called Human Impact, which Gone Dark, the lead singer and guitarist from Unsane is in it.
Oh yeah, this is the band they made after Unsane.
Is that what it is?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Got more of an industrial feel to it.
Yes,
Dude,
Human Impact is great.
it's really good. I would highly recommend it. I'm not the biggest Unsane fan.
I love
got,
Unsane.
Yeah, they've got some songs I dig, but for the most part, this I was like,
Human
this
Impact is
good.
awesome. Yeah,
His vocals, I think, take a little bit.
Getting
At
used
first, I
to.
felt they didn't match all the way, but I do not. Nonetheless, I do like it.
Yeah.
But I would recommend that. It was really good. Gone Dark, really good album.
Yeah.
The other one that I have really been spinning a shit ton of. Here we go. Work with me here. Buñuel, I think is how you say it.
Which I have to hold on before
please,
you go on.
Please.
This is always my favorite.
Oh
part
no,
of
this is. I'm telling you, this is. We really should turn this into a game show at some
I
point.
like that
Can
the-
Aaron pronounce it?
The last time you were like, oh boy, here we go.
No, it's because I don't. Here I am trying to recommend something to somebody, and for all I know, I'm saying it, and they're going, you understand? I didn't get any of that because that's not even a word. I don't know what the fuck. So I will spell it BUN. It has the
tilde?
squiggly line over
Yeah.
the top of it. UEL.
Buñuel.
Buñuel.
Yeah.
Thank you. I even put pronounce and it
You
gave
did.
him-
You
it-
did great.
It gave him
Yeah.
answer. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I did actually listen to that. A Resting Place for Strangers. What this is Eugene Robinson's new band from Oxbow.
Yes.
And
that's right.
apparently
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
3 members are Italian from some, it said supergroup over and over again. I'm not a big punk guy, so I've never heard of this group. But whatever. People keep calling it a supergroup. I just thought it was funny, mainly because we just did supergroups, and here we are. But, dude.
It's good.
Okay. Think Big Black. What's his other one? His other project? Not Rape Man, because I know he doesn't want to talk about that. But what's the other one? God damn it! I just bought Shellac. That kind of angular. And here's the biggest compliment I can give. Let me be 100%. I've listened to Oxbow.
Yeah.
I think they're incredible. It's just not my thing. I get why people dig them. I get the raw emotion of it. Eugene Robinson is one of the great characters in rock and roll.
And MMA.
I think he's like one of those like Henry Rollins kind of guys, where it's just like he's just an interesting fucking dude all the way around.
Intense.
Very much so. And
Yeah.
like, whether it's his poetry, whether it's his music, whether it's anything, any interview, you're going to get a good interview from that guy.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, all right, I'm intrigued. I'll check it out. Dude, my highest compliment I would give this to me, coming from me, this sounds like a project that Mike Patton wishes he was in.
Wow. Cool. All
Like,
right.
it's something that I go like, oh, Mike Patton's probably go, damn, that's something I would have done. Yeah.
Nice.
Like, it's so good. There's, what's the one he's in with the guy from Swing Kids that we were even saying? Is that a super group? Dead Cross. Has a little bit of that. The aggression of punk, but the angularness of stuff like Shellac and Big Black and Jesus Lizard and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Oh, I cannot recommend it enough, dude. Honestly, it is so good.
Were the other members in?
I do not remember. I didn't
Okay.
write it down. It didn't mean anything to me. I should have, but I when I find it, I will let you know. Like I said, so far they have 4 albums. They got a new one actually coming out soon. So I haven't listened to the other ones yet, but this is just their first album. Oh, so good. I can't get enough of it, man. It just, like I said, they're a band I'm definitely going to keep exploring into.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it's good to see, again, Eugene just continuing. You know what I mean? Now, I did read, like, this is technically international in every sense of the word, because apparently Eugene records his vocals here after they've put all the music to tape and then send it to him. So
yeah, he's
to be able to do that and yet still make it sound like I'm listening to a record, not pieces put together of a record, like, that's pretty cool.
he's nonstop because I follow him on Facebook.
Okay.
And like he's always talking about like his adventures and whatnot.
Right on.
Like that dude is just nonstop traveling.
Yeah, no,
And, when it's a show, like I think he does spoken word, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Or like poetry.
Yeah.
Like,
I know he has poetry for sure.
because he's published books.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
when he's talking about like playing shows, I'm just like, God damn, you just talked about a whole ass tour. Like
Yeah.
the last time you posted something, like, what the fuck, man? Take a break.
Well, I don't think that's in him.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
just don't-
It really isn't.
I mean,
yeah.
it felt like Oxbow only broke up like 2 years ago, and this band's got now. It's gonna have 4 albums. I know it's probably been longer, but it felt like it just happened. This band's got 4 albums already.
I also think there might have been something happened with the
Oh
Oxbow,
yeah, it didn't.
right?
It didn't
Like,
sound like it ended.
wasn't amicable.
No, it didn't sound like it ended well.
Right,
No.
yeah.
I agree with you there. I'm just again, he's one of those guys. Whether I like his bands or not, he seems like an interesting dude, and I
Yeah.
love interesting people in music. I love one way or the other. The way I'd love Henry Rollins and Steve Albini
Yeah,
and guys
yeah.
like that. And I think he's just another one of those dudes. And then to find a project that I'm just like so stoked about, I'm just so man. It's so good. I really, really
Yeah,
enjoy this album,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
yeah.
that's it for me, man. How about yourself?
Well, let me
Please.
look something up really quick
Yeah.
while I take up our precious airtime here.
This is where we'll do an ad.
The whole thing is that like I get recommended stuff.
Right.
Okay, I'm not gonna remember this whole title.
I got
The band is called Space Boy.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay.
It's like the force that holds this and something together.
Okay.
It's I want to say like late 90s, maybe early 2000s progressive sludge.
Oh.
It is fucking awesome. Firstly, when you hear the first song,
Okay.
it almost sounds like noise rock.
Okay. I like that.
Like very much like did you ever get into like Kowloon Walled City type?
I didn't get into them, but I certainly heard them.
So, like-
I'm not a fan necessarily, but I definitely know what they sound
Like
like.
really like almost jarring,
Yes.
noisy rock,
I
but then
gotcha.
it gets really sludgy and it's
Okay.
fucking great.
Space Boy.
Space Boy.
All
yeah,
right.
the force that yada yada yada.
Okay.
Right. It's not a Seinfeld wrestling.
No. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Space Boy, by the way, was also my 3rd grade costume for Halloween.
Oh, hey, look
Yeah.
at that. So it's like, it
It's
all
like
comes
Kismet.
back. Yeah, they're fucking great. They I play in this other group, and everyone in that fucking group is like an encyclopedia of music I've never heard.
I love that.
Which
Oh,
is
God.
for me, I'm
Yeah.
just like give it
Yeah.
to me.
Mind
Like,
that shit forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's
Space Boy,
Space
okay.
Boy. Yeah, that was one of them. I did get told. I was told that when I first listened to it, I needed to be really high. I wasn't,
Okay.
and I still was able to enjoy the album.
That's
so
good to know.
That's a great.
Yeah,
fucking-
because sometimes I think that can be a detriment. If
Big
if
time.
I have to be high
yes, yeah,
to like it, you're really saying something.
yeah, exactly. You're saying this isn't that great.
Yeah. That's how I interpret it.
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. So there's that one. There's a band called VX. Now, if you look up VX, you're gonna come across a lot of other performers. But they put out, I think it's an EP, maybe a couple years ago, if not last year, called
Okay.
The Final Judgment.
Okay.
And this is kind of like sludgy crust punk, where you can tell the punk parts, but it almost sounds like if Entombed went punk.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's fucking heavy. It's got the the HM2 sound
Right on.
in it, and the shouted vocals. And again, if it were metal per se, it's an Entombed ripoff,
Okay.
but it's punk.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's-
And this is name again?
VX.
VX. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really fucking
Oh,
good.
cool,
And
cool.
Final Judgment is theirs.
Okay.
One of the other ones that I found, I didn't have that many.
No, that's all right.
Is a band called Unholy Night.
Okay.
They have an album called Atomic Sorcery.
Okay. Is this KNIGHT? or-
I don't know.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah.
Are
But
we
if you
going
look
sword
up-
and sorcery, or are we going I'm scary in the dark? Just wondering.
Yeah, I didn't. I would have loved to have found out.
Okay.
But it's.
I don't know that it will tell me what the band necessarily is. It's just
Yeah,
it's an interesting,
It's super.
seeing the K or not would kind of make me think one
It-
way or the other
it
about the
points
band.
me in a direction.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I totally thought that too. I think it might be NIGHT.
Okay.
They are from Moscow.
Oh.
Kind of like a blackened, thrashy heavy metal.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking good. It is heavy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you hear heavy metal, I think of one thing. That's drummer David Morales.
Okay. Yes. Well,
Well, aside from that,
yeah.
it's a very particular sound
Sure,
and,
sure.
and like song structure.
Absolutely. Yes.
And so this has that, but it's being played by people very much into heavy music and
Okay.
into extreme music.
Okay.
I should say. So again, blackened thrash heavy metal.
Okay.
Like, it's fucking good. Their vocalist, I believe, is named Victoria.
Okay.
Man, what a voice!
Yeah. Okay.
What a fucking voice! It is monstrous.
Right
And
on.
it's got like that punk kind of like yell.
Okay. You almost hear the snarl and
Yeah,
okay.
that's exactly what it is. You
Okay.
hear the grit in the voice.
Right on.
And again, I don't know if
So they're not black metal vocals then necessarily. They're
not
more,
necessarily, but
okay.
some of the parts do sound like
Okay,
black metal.
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah, and that's so I saw Cult Nation
Okay.
post about this,
Okay.
and I said, "Oh, that's a cool album name, Atomic Sorcery."
Sure.
Listen to it, and it was fucking great.
Right on.
And that led me to another band.
Oh, please.
Lord Goblin,
Okay.
which is apparently blackened heavy metal.
Okay.
Which is, you listen to this music, and it's a black metal song. It's got blast beats, it's got the tremolo guitar picking and
Okay.
everything,
Okay.
but then the vocals are clean, like heavy metal vocals.
Interesting.
It's such a weird,
Yeah.
like just juxtaposition of that.
Yeah.
I at first didn't want to like it
Yeah.
because I'm not a big heavy metal guy.
well, yeah, and it's
Right.
just you're programmed once I hear some tremolos and stuff that
Yeah,
I'm gonna hear.
exactly. I'm like, oh, I know what's coming next.
Yeah.
But then it's not that. And
Yeah.
and it took me a couple of songs to
Okay.
get into it. I'm not guaranteeing that you'll
No,
like
no, no,
enjoy
I,
it,
no,
you know,
no.
but,
I,
like,
I understand. I understand.
but I the only reason I'm not seeing any of their albums
Mhm.
is because I just kind of listen to like
Alright,
the
yeah.
first 5 that get recommended.
Well, it says enough about the music that obviously, even though the vocal didn't do it for you at first, that you just kept going. Something,
yeah.
something was clicking. You
It's
know?
great song structures, great songs in general.
Right,
you know?
right.
So Lord Goblin was the
Goblin.
yeah, that one was a weird one for me to like even like be like that's cool. The one other one that
Well, please,
I have is
please.
kind of an older 2000s band called Remains of the Day. Which
I'm thinking
is-
of the movie. I was like, that sounds familiar.
See, well, here's the funny thing.
Like Daniel Day-Lewis is in a metal band. Like,
Well, yeah, it's,
which he may very well be.
he
Who knows?
could be. I mean,
Is there anything he can't do?
He's been missing for
Yeah.
10 years at this point, so who knows what he's
That's why he gave up acting. The future is black metal.
Yeah, right. But this is Remains of the Day turns out to be like a melodic crust punk band.
Oh.
Yeah, so I know you recently got turned on to like Lágrimas and Havoc.
Yeah.
If you like that type of stuff,
Mhm.
this kind of is where all that other stuff comes from.
Okay. Okay.
So like Tragedy and His Hero Is Gone
Right,
kind of
right,
started it all.
right. Right.
Remains of the Day came shortly thereafter.
Okay.
And
okay.
then we get to Lágrimas. and
Okay,
everything else.
okay. I like that when you
Yeah.
get to kind of the lineage, kind of understand. Okay, cool.
And apparently this is a band that's got some depth as far as their musical output.
Okay.
I'm still like on the first album because I just like it so much.
Sometimes that happens, right? It's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
I know you got other ones. We'll get to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you're not going anywhere.
Right, right.
Let me keep enjoying
As soon as I
this.
bore of this one, I
Yeah,
promise.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so Remains of the Day is like the last one that I really had.
Right on.
But it was cool. It's really good. And I know you're not a big punk guy, but this is like the more kind of aggressive.
Well, His Hero Is Gone is definitely one that has enough that I usually make exception for. And then the other stuff, I won't say the name because you're going to say it better. But, I definitely enjoyed that, especially like it's
Buñuel.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Especially like you said, the melodic parts of it, how I love how they treat that. They care as much as making sure that melodies sound as beautiful as they do as being aggressive.
For
you
sure.
know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
all
so,
right.
yeah, so
I'll
anybody
definitely
out there,
check. Like I
check
said,
that
I'll
out.
check anything out once. So how bad could it be?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Cool. Just you don't need to be high for any of these.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah.
I'll just be drunk.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So thanks so much for joining us, guys. Hope you guys had fun. We'll see you next time.
Right on.
Howdy, folks. Thank you so much for spending time with us here at the rehearsal room. If you've got any recommendations you'd like for us to check out, whether it's a band, a movie, or anything else you think we'd be interested in, you can write to us at therehearsalroompod@gmail.com, all one word. We're also over on Instagram or Facebook, or even YouTube. You can also find us on any of the popular platforms for podcasts. And if you happen to know anybody that would be interested in any of the subjects we're talking about, please make sure to refer this show over to them. Make sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen to us, and we'll catch you soon.